by Hernandez. Great ace from Alexis Mattel. Otten throws it down. What a play by Amanda Otten. Qureshi is rejected by Alexis Mattel. Blocked by Andrews and Maswavchik. Hovey into the crowd. Set goes to BG. And the Falcons, the Cardiac Birds, have done it. Bowling Green takes it in 3 sets. Bring out the brooms, because that's a sweep for the Falcons.
It is do or die time for the Bowling Green State University Falcons and the Western Michigan Broncos here in the Stroh Center, the semifinal of the 2024 MAC tournament. It's a rematch of the 2023 MAC championship, where Western Michigan beat Bowling Green in 5 sets to capture a MAC championship in 2023. Now we have a rematch in the semifinal game. 2 very good teams, 2 of the best teams in the Mid-American Conference match up for a chance to go to the 2024 MAC championship game. I'm Ben Korak here with Chaz McNeil from the Falcon Media Sports Network. Chaz, you had 2 calls yesterday, Ball State and Toledo, the second game, and then the first game, Western and Buffalo, which, as you know, by Western being here right now, means Western beat Buffalo in 4 sets yesterday. Chaz, how do you feel about Bowling Green's chances today and about how the games went yesterday?
Western definitely looked the part in that game yesterday. You could tell from really the very beginning that they established themselves. We mentioned it a little bit off air. They are really good getting their key players in key positions, and that's something that Buffalo really struggled to do. They had Trebahovska for Buffalo, but that was really it. For Western, I mean, they had Simpkins, reigning MAC Defensive Player of the Year, just pulling everything but the paint up off the court. They had Logan Case with every single set looking better than the last. I believe she made 1 mistake in that entire match. And then their hitters, you had Julia Marr doing very well. And then a little bit of a surprise, Mary Claire Brusek, the middle blocker, got a good chunk of kills. She was getting in on the offensive game. And as a whole, Western Michigan definitely looked like a team defending their 2023 MAC Tournament Championship.
They certainly did, Chaz, and a great comparison to be made between Bowling Green and Buffalo, especially the way their offense works. Buffalo spreads their offense around quite a lot, and Western Michigan was able to centralize that into Katrine Trebahovska from Buffalo, who had quite a sizable amount of kills, but a lot of errors with that as well. She was the only real offensive weapon. What did you see yesterday from Western Michigan that made them so effective at stopping Trebahovska in that entire Buffalo offense?
I mean, it's really going to... So I believe it's going to come down to the block, and Western Michigan, not a great blocking team. They ranked 12th in the MAC in blocks, but what it really comes down to, overall defense, their libero position, very good. Andalyn Simpkins, as I mentioned, MAC Defensive Player of the Year for a reason. Trebahovska's attacks were saved almost every time on really tough digs. These balls were flying off of the forearm of Simpkins and able to get a good clean touch from Case, help fueling their offense. It really will come down to the defensive specialists and the liberos in that back row.
And certainly that could go for the Falcons as well, with Lindsay LaPinta as the libero for Bowling Green, as we would assume today. We don't necessarily know yet, but as if the other games this year have been telling, Lindsay LaPinta is going to be the libero, but Alexis Mattil and Jessica Andrews, 2 of the 4 highest blocking players in the Mid-American Conference, and then Bowling Green, the best blocking team in the MAC, especially when you add in Amanda Otten, who does a great job blocking. Outside hitters, Mia Tyler and Lauren Hovey do a great job as well. What's the key for the Falcons to get that blocking going, especially against a high-hitting Western Michigan team?
I mean, really if it's not broke, don't fix it. You look at what Bowling Green has done throughout the season. They've got a blistering offense, but really they've gotten everything done off of their defense. You look at Alexis Mattil, Jessica Andrews, both can get their arms up. Lauren Hovey can get a good chunk of blocks. A 6'3" setter in Amanda Otten can also get a hand on the ball. They are tall up front, and I mean, looking at both teams right now, you can tell Bowling Green have a definite size advantage as well. That front row is going to be very crucial, and I think in terms of size, Bowling Green will win in that battle.
So we know on the side of the Falcons, there's extreme offensive prowess. Mia Tyler, Lauren Hovey, Alexis Mattil as well. The defensive Jessica Andrews, as we mentioned, and Lindsay LaPinta as well. Who needs to be on point today for the Falcons? We mentioned middle blockers. Outside of middle blockers, who for the Falcons do you think is going to be that standout player, one that gets the offense going, gets the defense going, really makes an impact?
Well, it might be ironic that I'm saying this, but I would go Amanda Otten in this situation. I mean, you're going up against one of the best setters in the MAC in Logan Case. You got to match that efficiency if you're Otten. And on top of that, you mentioned a player that needs to get in the blocks and in the offensive game, and no better person than somebody who has to simulate the offense. That is what Otten does best. She's been getting a lot better at spreading the ball to the middles and Mattil and Anders, and also to their blistering outside hitters in Tyler and Hovey, and also in some cases Nublat and Vatswavchik. So as a whole, she's going to have to be kind of the key, metering out this team, making sure everybody's in the right place, and then, of course, getting her arms up for crucial blocks.
Again, a lot of offensive depth for Bowling Green, as you mentioned. Jordan Nublat, Mia Tyler, Lauren Hovey, Amanda Otten as offensive ability. Alexis Mattil, Jessica Andrews as well has some great offensive talent. But let's talk about the 2023 MAC Championship, because we saw them in the regular season. We saw Western Michigan here in the Stroh Center. This will be the third meeting for Bowling Green and Western Michigan this year in the Stroh Center. But we saw that last year in Kalamazoo, in Western Michigan's arena up there in Kalamazoo. They beat Bowling Green in 5 sets. They win the first 2. Bowling Green wins the next 2, and then the Broncos finish off the Falcons 15-7 in the final set. But Bowling Green, I think, played better than Western Michigan last season. 60 kills to 49 for Western Michigan. They did have more errors, 26-17, but had just a little bit lower hitting percentage. They had one more ace, couple more blocks, more assists, more digs. This Falcon team showed that they were better than Western Michigan last year, even though they didn't win the game. They just played a little bit better, maybe just didn't come away with the game, so balls didn't fall their way. I really feel like Bowling Green's a better team than Western Michigan this year, even though that might not be reflected on the final stat sheet.
And I think that's really, just to clarify, you're talking about 2024, right? Correct.
Yes.
So I think you're 100% right in that regard. Last year, Western Michigan, they just got the better of Bowling Green. Western Michigan, one of the best volleyball teams I'd ever seen from the 2023 season, just undefeated, how good they were. But now they had a lot of the returning players, but you could tell there was a bit of a hiccup in how they functioned for whatever reason. Bowling Green, it really never felt like that. Since the beginning of MAC play, everything really got going in the way of the Falcons, and I think both teams are tremendously talented. You can run your finger down both stat sheets and point out players that are just eye-popping in every regard. But for Bowling Green, it really does come down to they have such a good synergy. If option A doesn't work, go to option B. If B doesn't work, go to C, all the way to the letter Z. That's how good this team is. And that's nothing against Western Michigan, who have MAC Tournament Championship prowess. They've all been here before. I think this is going to be a really solid matchup, and definitely between two of the most experienced programs in this tournament.
Well, and it's hard to say that the Falcons aren't the hottest team coming into this game as well. They finished the season with an 11-game win streak, including a very tight match against Ohio, which they ended up coming away from with a victory in 5 sets. And they had a 5-game win streak to start the season as well. They lost those 2 intermediate matches to Central and Eastern, but since then they've had 11-game win streak. One of the hottest teams in the Mid-American Conference. If you're Western Michigan, you didn't have that luxury. You had a split series against Buffalo to start the year. You had a sweep for Bowling Green against Western Michigan away. The next 2 games, you ended up beating Ohio and advanced to 2 and 3, and then you lost to Central Michigan in a 3-set sweep. So you pretty much started 2 and 4 to start the season, not the start you were looking for, and you had to climb all the way back out of the hole for that. They did end up finishing the season with a 9-game win streak, 3-game losing streak early, as I mentioned, the second game against Buffalo, and both the Bowling Green. So some hot momentum for Bowling Green and some hot momentum for Western Michigan coming into this game as well.
I think if you're Western Michigan, that start of the year was really uncharacteristic. They won their first game of MAC play, but then got swept by Buffalo, who we saw they dispatched pretty heavily yesterday. It was just kind of uncharacteristic the way everything boiled down, and now it all seems to be clicking once again. You look at a couple of their other faces for Western Michigan, Julia Marr, Kiana Salesman, Andalyn Simpkins, Madison Mers. They've got all of these names that are now starting to come out of the woodwork and really kind of lock in, whereas the Falcons, since losing to Central Michigan, have just been steamrolling teams. And I think if you're a Western Michigan fan, that's something you can kind of hang your hat on. You've seen I guess you could say, the growth of Western versus Bowling Green, they've just come out swinging. Even though they lost to Eastern Michigan and Central Michigan to disrupt their perfect 18-game MAC record, it still is kind of, I mean, this is a team that really, they won both games against Ball State in 5 sets. They've had a lot of adversity, but they've won a majority. Western kind of had to crawl their way back out, and I think that's something you'd like to see out of a feisty team that's been there before.
Bowling Green, the 1 seed, Western Michigan, the 4 seed. The game later today, Central Michigan and Ball State, the 2 and 3 seeds. So the 1, 2, 3, and 4 seeds play today, and each team has the ability to punch their ticket to the MAC championship game tomorrow at 4:30 here in the Stroh Center. I'm going to set some history for you guys real quick, so just some stipulations about this game between Bowling Green and Western Michigan. So if Bowling Green wins this game, it could be their 6th straight MAC championship appearance, 7th total under head coach Danielle Tomich, who in my opinion is the best coach to ever touch the floor here in Bowling Green, but you could argue about that a different day. It could also be the 5th MAC championship win in program history and the 3rd under Danielle Tomich. So that's some more resume boosting for Danielle Tomich. It could be her 3rd MAC championship if they so win today and tomorrow. It is their 8th straight MAC tournament appearance. The last time BG had a first-round bye, they did end up winning the MAC championship. 2 out of the last 3 times they had a first-round bye, they won the MAC championship, and they have a first-round bye coming into today. They had the day's rest yesterday. They're fresh for today, whereas Western Michigan had a battle against Buffalo. As Chaz, you said this before the broadcast started, and I didn't even know this in my research. Bowling Green is 21, or I should say Danielle Tomich is 22-1 in November. The one loss was last year to Western Michigan in the MAC championship. That's an incredible run from the Falcons since 2012. 22-1 in the month of November. They're 6-3 in semifinal matches. Again, under Danielle Tomich, they haven't lost a semifinal match in 5 years, so they got to keep that streak alive. Hopefully, get to the MAC championship match tomorrow, and then 6-6 all-time against Western Michigan in the MAC tournament. But the last time Bowling Green beat Western Michigan in a semifinal match, Bowling Green won the MAC championship. So Bowling Green with a chance to extend some history here, both in the realm of Danielle Tomich and in the program. Chaz, before we step aside for a few moments and starting lineups, they're going to announce every name here, which is a really cool thing that the MAC does. Announce every name for both teams. If you've earned your way all the way here, you might as well get your name read out in the Stroh Center. If you had to choose one player, one thing to look for from both Bowling Green and Western Michigan today, what's it going to be?
I'm going to keep it pretty simple. First off, for Bowling Green, I think it's going to come down to the hitting for Bowling Green. The block we know is not there for Western Michigan, so I think Lauren Hovey is going to be the key in this matchup. I know I mentioned Amanda Otten, but I mean Lauren Hovey has been the face of this team, reigning MAC Player of the Year. I think you got to get her going, and I think she can blow through that Western block. That's something that once you break that open, I think you can get other hitters involved, and it's going to go a long way if you're a member of the Orange and Brown. But for Western Michigan, I mean, kind of similarly, I think Logan Case, this is going to be a little bit of a two-parter. Andalyn Simpkins, I've been very high on, and Logan Case. They're 2 of the best players for Western Michigan. And Case getting the offense set up, and for Simpkins, surviving hard attacks from Bowling Green, that'll be the key for the Broncos.
Bowling Green, the 1 seed in the MAC tournament. Western Michigan, the 4 seed in the MAC tournament. A rematch of the 2023 MAC championship here in the semifinal in the Stroh Center on the Moe and John Stansbury court. We'll take a step back just for a few minutes. When we bring you back, we will have starting lineups and the first serve here in the Stroh Center. Again, number 1 Bowling Green, number 4 Western Michigan. A winner punches their ticket to the championship match tomorrow at 4:30. You're listening to BGSU Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
The MAC tournament returns to BG as Central Michigan has earned a 2 seed in the tournament. The Chippewas will face the winner of Friday's quarterfinal of Ball State versus Toledo. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Chad McNeil and Andrew Smith at 6:15 for pregame on WBGU 88.1 FM.
basketball will travel to the Daytona Beach Classic for the Thanksgiving tournament to take on Stetson Friday, November 29th, and Arkansas Saturday, November 30th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Caden Knapp on the call both days at 1 o'clock p.m. for pregame on WBGU 88.1 FM.
On November 16th, 2024, BGSU Volleyball defeated Ohio in 5 sets, clinching their 7th regular season championship under head coach Daniela Tomic. Falcon Media Sports Network's Chaz McNeil had the call on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Picked up on the attack, Archinska off the block, saved by LaPinta. Over is on the attack is Hovey. The Falcons have done it. Bowling Green will host the MAC Tournament regular season championship returns to the orange and brown.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
This is Lucas Kleinmeyer, and you are listening to 88.1 FM WBGU Bowling Green, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
On November 1st, 2024, BGSU men's soccer defeated nationally ranked Western Michigan for the first time in a decade. Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer was on the call on the WBGU PBS YouTube channel.
History has been made here at Cochran Stadium for the first time in 37 regular season matches for the Western Michigan Broncos, and for the first time in a decade, the Bowling Green Falcons take down the Western Michigan Broncos by a final score of 3-0 here at Cochran Stadium. Wow!
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call. On October 26, 2024, BGSU cornerback Jordan Oladokin snagged 2 interceptions, including a pick 6 in BG's 41-26 win over rival Toledo. Falcon Media Sports Network's Reese Patricus was on the call on Falcon Radio.
Minute 13 left to go. Ball picked off. Jordan Oladokin. He's got Green in front of him. Jordan Oladokin. 10, 5, touchdown Bowling Green. Ball game. 41-26, Bowling Green wins this year's edition of the Battle of I-75 up here in the Glass Bowl.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
To listen to replays of recent Falcon Media Sports Network's broadcasts, tune into WBGU 88.1 FM every weekday morning from midnight to 3 a.m.
Interested in joining Falcon Media Sports Network? If you're looking to get involved, send an email to sports@bgfalconmedia.com.
On October 4th, 2024, BGSU volleyball opposite hitter Lauren Hovey recorded her 115th career service ace in BG's comeback reverse sweep of Western Michigan, passing Paige Penrod for the most in program history during the rally scoring era. Falcon Media Sports Network's Chaz McNeil had the call of the historic moment on WBGU 88.1 FM.
And that will make history.
Lauren Hovey's 115th ace in the rally scoring era is in the history books as the Stroh Center applauds.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network. Hey, BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. When I was a Falcon, there was BGRSO. Now it's Falcon Media Sports Network. Keep up with all BGSU sports news and action by following BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and check out BGFalconMedia.com. Hi, Ziggy.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics, only on WBGU 88.1 FM. In Bowling Green football's 41-17 season opening victory over Fordham on August 29th, junior Justin Pace set a program record with a 100-yard kickoff return touchdown on the first play of the game. Falcon Media Sports Network's Reese Patricus had the call on Falcon Radio.
Go back up and field it on the goal line. Trying to take to the right, got some blocks, got a hole. Peg was down the far sideline, and he's got space in front of him. 10, 5, touchdown BG brings back the opening kickoff. What a way to start the season.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Number 1 seed Bowling Green versus number 4 seed Western Michigan in the MAC tournament semifinal here in the Stroh Center on the Moe and John Stansbury Court in Bowling Green, Ohio. I'm Ben Clark with Chaz McNeil from the Falcon Media Sports Network. We have starting lineups for the Falcons and the Broncos. Chaz, why don't you walk us through Western Michigan's starting 6?
I will happily do that, Ben. So Western Michigan, if you were listening yesterday, exact same starting lineup as yesterday. Starting off, number 1 senior middle blocker Madison Mers. Number 3, Andolyn Simpkins, the 5th-year libero standing at 5'10". Number 12, surprise, surprise, fifth-year 5'8" setter Logan Case, 2023 MAC Player of the Year. Number 16, Julia Marr, senior outside hitter, standing at 6'2". Number 19, Carly Piercefield, the freshman defensive specialist, standing at 5'4". Number 20, 6 foot middle blocker, the junior Mary Claire Brusek. And rounding everything out, number 21, Anna Calcagno, the 6'2" graduate student outside hitter.
And on the side of your Bowling Green Falcons, under the head coaching of Daniela Tomic, the Coach of the Year in 2024 in her 13th season with Bowling Green, defensive specialist Sydney Hernandez, the 5'7" freshman out of Bloomington, Illinois. Jessica Andrews, second team All-MAC, the middle blocker, junior 6'4". Mia Tyler, second team All-MAC with Jessica Andrews. She's an outside hitter today, senior 6'1". Amanda Otten, the setter for the Falcons, first team All-MAC, the sophomore out of Batavia, Illinois. Lindsay Lupinta, the libero for the Falcons. Lauren Hovey, first team All-MAC and the Player of the Year for the Mid-American Conference in 2024. The junior 6 foot tall out of Waterloo, Ontario. And then Alexis Mattil, the middle blocker, in her 5th year with Bowling Green, is also first team All Mid-American Conference. So, 3 first team nominations for the Falcons, 2 second team, and a Player of the Year for Bowling Green. Just goes to show how strong this Bowling Green lineup is.
And I mean, you look at both Jessica Andrews and Mia Tyler, who both made second team. You could argue that they could have made first team. I mean, Mia Tyler at the start of the year was really that primary offensive weapon. Over Lauren Hovey in some cases. And then Jessica Andrews, arguably best blocker in the MAC, definitely the best blocker in this tournament.
So Bowling Green and Western Michigan on the floor now, as they did in the 2023 MAC Championship that Western Michigan won in 5 sets. Bowling Green lost the first 2, won the next 2, and then 15-7, I should say, in the final set. Western Michigan captured the MAC Championship. And now Bowling Green and Western Michigan meet in the semifinal with the chance to send themselves to the MAC Championship tomorrow, 4:30 here in the Stroh Center. A pretty sizable crowd around the Moe and John Stansbury Court for the start of this game. The service from Western Michigan is handled by Sydney Hernandez. Amanda Otten sets back to Hovey. Hovey just pushes it along the line, but on her side of the court, and the first point will go to the Broncos.
And you could tell what she was trying to do there. She was trying to do a cross court. Nobody on the other side, but didn't put enough strength on that ball as it rolled on the Falcon side of the net.
Another serve. Piercefield, Otten now over to Tyler. Tyler on the far side, received by Simpkins. Case sets up Marr. Marr with a rip off the block. Hernandez over to Otten. Otten set over the middle to Mattil. Mattil just dumps it over, and a miscue from Mary Claire Brusek, and it falls for the first point for Bowling Green.
And who better than Alexis Mattil, one of the top players in the nation in hitting percentage, adds to that right now.
Avery Anders for a serve. Up and over. Simpkins, easy to Case. Case and Simpkins, the duo. Brusek with a strike here. Kept up by Simpkins. Back to Case. Case back sets. Almost kept up by Amanda Otten, but Anna Calcagno gets the first kill of her day.
And, I mean, nothing too complex there from Western Michigan. Just Calcagno staying in her place. She didn't really move, and great set there by Logan Case.
Anders, a little bit of a miss bump. The Falcons will have to dump this one over. Simpkins sets up Case. That's the duo for Western Michigan. Julia Marr with a strike and throws it right through.
Good placement there from Marr. I mean, Anders and Lupinta just kind of not much communication on who was going to cover that one.
3-1 Western Michigan. Simpkins serves Anders. Anders with a diving try at saving it, but it goes way out of play. 4-1 is the Bronco lead.
And Simpkins picking on Anders right now, seemingly working for the Broncos.
Picks on her again. She gets it to Otten. Otten to Hovey. Hovey tries to throw it through. It's kept up by Western. Back to Julia Marr. Marr from a deep shot. Anders keeps it up. Otten with the bump set. Way across to Newblatt. Newblatt with a rip off the block. Kept up by Piercefield. Back to Mers. Mers with the strike. Now to Case. Case sets up. Oh, what a strike from Anna Calcagno, her second kill of the game.
Calcagno, a player that was not, her name wasn't called that much yesterday, but now she is stepping up big, putting the Falcons in a 5-1 deficit.
6 kills on 17 attempts yesterday against Buffalo. Anders with another one. She's really being picked on by the service here. Hovey with one off the block, and Otten can't keep it up. 6-1, Western over Bowling Green, and that'll force Danielle Tomic to take her first time out. 6-1, Western over Bowling Green, the 1-seed Falcons versus the 4-seed Western Michigan Broncos in the MAC tournament semifinal on WBGU 88.1 FM.
On September 13th, BGSU men's soccer's Bennett Painter scored the game-winning goal against Northern Illinois, leading to the team getting nationally ranked. Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer had the call on the WBGU PBS YouTube channel.
Gonna win that one initially. Head up again. Wins the second one, however. Back to lane, back to Painter. That one's blocked, gets it back. Painter! Bennett Painter paints another masterclass at Cochran Stadium.
This has been a Falcon Media Sports Network featured call.
Number 4-seed Broncos have pretty much silenced the Falcon fans here in the Stroh Center. They lead 6-1 over Bowling Green, and it's a rough start for the Falcons, but Daniela Tomic with her always strategically placed timeouts that normally work for Bowling Green, trying to settle her girls down. And now Chaz McNeil, we're back on the court, ready to go at it again.
You're right about that one, Ben Korak. And I mean, you look, Andel and Simpkins taking out another serve. This is going to be big for Bowling Green to try and retake some momentum.
Anders to Otten, 4 sets across to Mattil. Mattil off the reception and out of play.
And I mean, that's what they needed. They needed a good, solid attack. We usually see a little bit of a softer touch out of Mattil, but that time, smoking that ball for the score.
2 kills already out of Mattil on 2 attempts. 2 attack errors for Lauren Hovey on her 3 total attempts. Rough start for her. Kept up by Simpkins. Great play. Case sets all the way across to Marr. Marr puts it down the line and in. Great strike from Marr with that right hand. Kept it down the line.
You had Avery Anders diving, trying to save that one. Just about, you could say, a foot short of pulling that one up off the court.
7-2 Western. Regan Boyer serves. Anders to Otten. Otten 4 sets to Andrews. Andrews tries to poke it through. Logan Case will not get the set on this one. Marr with another rip in that wide open side of the court. They really got to shut that off. And the right side of the Falcons. Just Julia Marr is peppering that.
That zone 6, or zone 5, excuse me, if you're Bowling Green, is really the key right now that's being attacked by Western.
Anders to Otten. Otten sets up Hovey. Hovey with a rip off the block, kept up by Otten. Anders chases all the way. LaPinta has to get this one way across. It's not going to have the strength to get there. 9-2 Western Michigan.
Falcons get a point out of that, but really out of that timeout, not much really happening. Western, good job kind of masking any of their flaws right now.
Boyer again serves Anders. Otten, 4 set to Andrews, who throws it right past. Big strike for Bowling Green, hopefully turning some momentum their way as the best server for the Falcons, Lauren Hovey, goes behind the line.
Hovey is going to need to step up right now for Bowling Green. Her serve game, one of the most lethal in the MAC.
48 aces to 52 errors this season. And this one's an ace, 49 for Lauren Hovey. 3rd in the Mid-American Conference regular season. She adds another.
Wow, what a serve there from Hovey, getting it behind Regan Boyer, who opted not to field that one out.
Hovey with the left hand up and over, dives this one in. Kasel back set over to Mers. Mers sends it long, not off the block, and the Falcons take another point and limit the deficit to 4.
Smart play by the Falcons, pulling their arms away on that attack. That was a hard hit there from Western Michigan, just a little bit too long.
Hovey again as an ace, nothing on the last one. looking for more points. The catalyst for the Falcons. Case sets up Marr. Marr with the rip, goes cross court now. LaPinta keeps it up. Hovey sets across to Newblatt. Newblatt with a left side rip, and it's kept up by Simpkins. Case, back set to Mers. Mers is blocked by the Falcons. Case, another setup. Piercefield back across to Marr. Marr from deep to LaPinta. To Otten. Otten over the middle to Andrews. Andrews is kept up now. Back set to Case, trying to find the open floor. Good play by Anders. Otten, now Newblatt. What a rally for Bowling Green in Western Michigan. Over again. Hovey keeps it up. Otten bump set across. Newblatt just wins the joust at the net. Goes back. Hovey with the set. Back to Newblatt. And it falls in for the Falcons. 9-6 Western. The Falcons take a couple in a row.
What a back and forth. And I mean, you saw Logan Case there. She tried the similar move that she did yesterday, setting the ball all the way back, doing a setting motion, but trying a kill. Didn't work. Great job by Hovey on those sets to keep the offense going.
Talk about out-of-system play for both the Broncos and the Falcons. Anders' diving play keeps this up. Otten to Newblatt. Newblatt with a strike. Kept up off the block. Simpkins has to dump it over. Hovey to Otten. Otten with a strike into the donut, and she got it. 9-7.
And that is the best play in all of volleyball. The setter dump there by Otten, getting up like she was getting a rebound in basketball, just dumping that right into the campfire.
5-0 run for the Falcons. Started with a Jessica Andrews kill. Hovey now with another serve. Over, dives in, Simpkins to Case. Case to Mers. Mers sends it wide. Oh, but it was off the block. Double digits for Western. They lead 10-7. And Kiana Salesman and Alana Erickson sub in the game now for Julia Marr and Carly Piercefield. So 2 attackers for an attacker and defensive specialist. Newblatt to Otten. Otten backsets Andrews. Andrews has to reach behind her to try and strike that one. Case across to Salesman. Salesman off the block, kept up by Hovey. Anders does her best to the 3-meter line. Newblatt tries to tumble it in. Case across to Salesman again with this rip. LaPinta digs it out. Otten with another dig, and Newblatt hits it, but around the pin. Just a little bit deep toward that scorer's table on the left side of the court for the Falcons. Almost 2 digs to keep that one up, both Otten and LaPinta. Erickson serves. Newblatt. Otten. Back set to Newblatt. Newblatt with a strike. It's blocked by Western. Back up to Newblatt with another one. Blocked again by Western, and that's a blocking point for the Broncos. They lead 12-7.
Madison Mers got a hand on both of those blocks going back and forth, finally getting one to fall. The senior middle blocker getting all over 6'1" frame.
Only 56 total blocks this season, but she is the leader for Western Michigan. Set back, Hovey has to dump it over. Now Western with a prime opportunity. Case across the Salesman, blocked, and it goes out of play. It'll be another point toward Western. They now lead by 6.
Salesman, one of the better kept secrets in the MAC. You don't hear her name a whole lot, but a great offensive weapon.
4 points in a row for Western. Andrews digs this out. Otten tries to go for that back corner. Simpkins slides in to save it. Salesman will have to sell it over. Otten keeps it up. Attack from Andrews out of system. Western keeps it up. Anders diving away from the play. Otten back sets to Newblatt on the opposite. Oh, and a strike from Newblatt falls in. 13-8. The lead is back down to 5.
Third straight time that Case has faked the set and pushed that ball over. Good play there by Anders.
Anders is on it every time.
Every single time in that back corner, sniffing it out.
13-8 Western, but the serves to Sydney Hernandez. The freshman has 31 aces on the season. Huge addition for the Falcons in that freshman spot. Case to Salesman. Salesman with a rip, kept up by Hernandez, but way out of play. Not playable for the Falcons, and they'll drop the 14th point to Western Michigan.
8 different players lost for Bowling Green last season. Hernandez, one of those players that was brought in to fill in the spot of Alex LeBoy, and doing a great job at that.
Mare's over. Tyler to Otten. Otten back set to Andrews. Andrews with a rip, and it clears into the student section off of the reception by Logan Case. Back down to 5. Western leads 14-9. That 9-2 was the last time it was really almost out of reach for the Falcons. This one's an ace for Sydney Hernandez as it's misreceived.
Ben, I've got horrible news for you.
Did it touch too?
It touched too.
Oh,
I think
the official was in my way. I was hoping.
So it touched too, but they are going to credit it as an ace on our stat sheet.
Okay, Regan Boyer misreceived that one. This one to Erickson. Case, 4 sets to Salesman. Diving in is Hernandez. She might have got there in time, but nobody was there to pick up her dig. So the score is still 15-10. The lead is 5 for Western, and Logan Case will get the serve.
And I think what's been key so far for Western Michigan, fast-moving first set. They've really kind of pushed the Falcons, had them run around, try and wear them out a little bit.
Tyler to Otten. Otten back sets to Mattil. Mattil finds open space. What a strike from Alexis Mattil.
And Mattil with the cross-court shot, just kind of sneaking that in and the four-seam.
Trading points back and forth now. Welcome change from what we saw before that 9-2 lead for Western was abolished by the Falcons. Otten's serve over is overset. Tyler pushes it back. Lead is 3 for Western, 15-12. BG's climbing back in.
Veteran play there by Mia Tyler. That ball received, goes right back over. Tyler expecting it and just poking it down.
I'm surprised head coach Colleen Munson isn't taking a timeout. I guess because they're just kind of splitting with the Falcons. Otten with a good serve. Case 4 sets again to Salesman. Is blocked by Hovey and Mattil. Yes, ma'am, 15-13.
Hovey got all of that block there. Great job by the junior in combination with the 5th-year Alexis Mattil.
Otten for another one. Again, handled by Simpkins to Case. Case across to Salesman. Salesman with a rip down the line. Dug out by Tyler, but the reception by Hovey goes out of play. It was good play by Tyler to get down and dig that one out.
Just a bit of a better job by Kiona Salesman on the attack there.
Been shooting them more up the seam. That one was more hugging the net. Piercefield to Hernandez. Hernandez sets up Tyler. Tyler now Case. Back to Marr. Marr kept up by Hernandez. Bump set from LaPinta. Mia Tyler sends it long of the line. 17-13 Western Michigan. They extend their lead back to 4. Falcons got to take one here and close it out before Western gets to 20. That 20 mark is tough to come back from. Hernandez. Otten bump set across to Tyler again. Tyler just tries to push it over. It's kept up by Western. A set strike and a net violation on Julia Marr on that one. 17-14. Subbing in for the Falcons is Anders and Newblatt for Tyler and Hernandez. Anders will go back for the serve.
And you can see what Marr was trying to do there. The Falcons were pushed up, kind of focusing more on the block and on inside the 10-foot line, and she was trying to get it towards that back zone, unable to push it that far without hitting the net.
Anders has 4 digs in this game, tied for the lead, and she'll add an ace. 17-15 Bowling Green.
Now, Ben, we mentioned off air how having a bad warm-up might lead to a good game. Well, what about having a tough start to a game? Now Anders looking to be on fire.
She was the target of serve receives, now making a target of Western. Dives this one in. Simpkins to Case. Case back. LaPinta tries to dive it out. So does Otten, but it was too deep in. 18-15 Western.
That was dug out by Lindsay LaPinta. It looked like she dove probably 5 or 6 feet to pull that ball out and just didn't get enough height on that dig for Otten to really do anything with it, but great effort on the Falcon side.
Anders. Otten sets up Newblatt. Newblatt with a deep strike, and it's off the block. 18-16, the Falcons take one there. On the strike from Jordan Newblatt, Alexis Mattil will go back to serve. This is what we see a lot from Alexis Mattil when she serves, as we see attackers from the opponent, in this case Western Michigan. We see attackers from opponents like Western Michigan try and attack Mattil on the back row because, I mean, at 6'3", it's tough to get down there for digs. we're going to get a challenge from Colleen Munson from Western to see if that was actually off of the block of Western, just off the fingertips.
And I mean, not a bad challenge. That attack by Newblatt, it was definitely much more of a finesse than a power hit. She wasn't really trying to hit the blockers on that one.
See the replay here.
It looks like there might be a little change of direction.
Possibly. Too far away for us to tell, no matter how big the screen is when the referee is looking at it. Referees for today's game: Brian Hemmelgum, Katie Wagner, Jennifer Leffler, and Mary Gray. Katie Wagner's the one that's giving a look at this one on the replay screen on the scores table, taking her time to look at this one, so it shows you how close it was.
Jennifer Leffler, no relation to Bowling Green head coach Scott Leffler.
There's an O missing from her name.
They're taking a pretty elongated look at it. Not really that surprising. This is a big stage for both teams.
Now she's giving it, and the point goes to Western Michigan. Nobody touched it at the line, they say. 19 for Western, 15 for Bowling Green.
And a smart challenge there for Colleen Munson in her 20th year with Western Michigan, trusting her players that said, no, we didn't touch that ball, and it was a good call.
Simpkins over, Anders digs it out. Otten sets up Newblatt on that outside. Simpkins with a diving play, one-handed. Julia Marr with a rip. LaPinta keeps it up. Otten with the bump set, back to Newblatt. Newblatt will just have to dump it over. Free play for Western. Case sets back. Brusick with an attack is kept up. Otten sets up Hovey. Hovey with a rip. It's off the antenna. 20 points for Western Michigan. They lead by 5.
And that was a good setup there by Otten. Hovey trying to hit line there, ended up hitting the pole.
And a timeout will be taken by Danielle Tomic. We'll take it with her. 20-15. Western over Bowling Green. Number 4 Western leading number 1 Bowling Green in the MAC tournament semifinal on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Miss a BGSU sports broadcast? Head over to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel to listen to past calls by Falcon Media Sports Network.
Hey, BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. When I was a Falcon, there was BGRSO. Now it's Falcon Media Sports Network. Keep up with all BGSU sports news and action by following BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and check out BGFalconMedia.com. Hi, Ziggy.
To 15, Western over Bowling Green. The serve heads to Andolyn Simpkins for Western Michigan. Again, they lead by 5. Ben Korak with Chaz McNeil from the Falcon Media Sports Network. MAC tournament semifinal, the Falcons and the Broncos. Anders digs this out, bumps that from LaPinta over to Hovey. Hovey with the left hand off the reception, out of play. Logan Case just can't handle it, as not a lot of receivers can.
You're right about that one, and the Falcons now kind of leaning towards Lauren Hovey. They tend to do that when they get inside 20. Now within 15, you're trying to shrink the lead of Western, maybe try to get it into extra scoring as you're down 4 currently.
She's got 7 attempts. Jordan Newblatt has 14, double the attempts of Hovey, who's the best hitter for the Falcons. Blocked by Andrews, but it goes out of play. 21 for Western. Falcons got to make a move. They got to make a move now.
That ball blocked by the cheekbone of Jessica Andrews. She got all of the left side of her face on that ball, but unable to tuck it inside somehow.
Regan Boyer, 2 aces, no errors yesterday. Otten sets up Andrews. Andrews tries to push it in. Marr gets down for this one. Case over to Mares. Mares is kept up. Otten the bump set. Again to Newblatt. Her 15th attempt, and it's an error as it heads into the net. Edita Vaswavchik will check into the game immediately. And Coach Tomic not happy with what she's seeing from Newblad, who's got 15 attempts, only 2 kills and 4 errors.
More errors than kills for the 5th year.
On to Andrews with the right hand. 22-17, powerful strike from Andrews over the middle.
Falcons now pushing the middles. We've seen now the 2 kill leaders, Jessica Andrews and Alexis Mattil with 3, both blockers.
A 6-0 run for Hovey last time she served. This one could be an ace, and it is. Lauren Hovey, second ace of the game. Hopefully can start a rally. 22-18 now. BG chasing 4. Western 3 away from putting away the first set. Like I said, 6-0 run last time Hovey got a serve. And last time she got an ace. Another one tumbling in. Case sets back. This one struck down the line. It's off the block of the Falcons.
Falcons used both of their timeouts. It's 23-18. Western still have both of those as well. So even if the Falcons were to go on a bit of a run, there is a momentum stop there, too, technically, for Colleen Munson.
Couple of subs for Western. One of them is Alana Erickson, who serves this one to Anders. LaPinta bump sets across to Vaswavchik. Vaswavchik with a strike, spinning in. Simpkins keeps it up. Case across to Salesman. Salesman off of the fingertips of Anders and Otten. And it's set point Western Michigan in the first of the MAC tournament semifinal.
Now it's clutch time if you're Bowling Green. You have to get 6 here to tie up the score. If Western score 1 point, they will take set number 1 here at the Stroh Center.
Erickson can put it away. Anders keeps it up, so nothing on the serve. Vaswavchik with another one off the block. Simpkins keeps it up. Case tries to dump it over. Andrews just swats it back over the net. Case back. Mers puts it right in and through. And Western Michigan takes the first set 25-18. The girls will switch sides. We'll take a step back. 1-0. Western over Bowling Green in the MAC tournament semifinal. 1 seed versus 4 seed on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Falcon Media Sports Network is finally back on the road with BGSU hockey. Make sure to catch the voice of Falcon hockey, Ben Korak, on the call for every BGSU game this season on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Looking for a BG Athletics discussion show? Check out The Swoop, where a rotating cast of Falcon Media Sports Network co-hosts talk everything BGSU athletics. New episodes are available every Thursday at 6 p.m. on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel.
The MAC Volleyball Tournament comes to a close with the championship game on Sunday, November 24th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak and Chas McNeil at 3:45 p.m. for pregame and 4 p.m. for tip-off, only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Women's basketball stays on the road, traveling to Columbus to battle ranked Ohio State on Sunday, November 21st. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer and Caden Knapp on the call at 12:45 for pregame and 1 p.m. for tip-off on WBGU 88.1 FM.
The Western Michigan Broncos take a 1-set lead over the Falcons after the first set. We head into the second one with, as I said, the Broncos leading 1-0. Ben Korak here from the Falcon Media Sports Network with Chas McNeil in the Stroh Center on the Moe and John Stansbury Court. Now the Falcons won the regular season title for the Mid-American Conference, earning themselves a 1 seed, a bye for yesterday's game, and that means that they also get the Stroh Center MAC tournament, which, as we know, a huge advantage of being here in the Stroh Center. Pretty sizable crowd here. Lauren Hovey, the player of the year, honored on the screen in the Stroh Center. Large applause coming from the Falcons. And now Daniela Tomic, the coach of the Falcons, being honored as Coach of the Year. The main two awards given out to Bowling Green. Outstanding coach and outstanding player, Chess.
Outstanding play by this Falcons team throughout the regular season. After losing to Central Michigan, they did not drop the first set of a single match until today. That is an 11-game run of winning every set, in every first set. This is a team that strive on consistency. You look, Lauren Hovey, arguably not the best year of her career. Last year, she was phenomenal, but Case beat her out for the award. This year, a little bit reduced on her offensive load. She's been doing more in the set game, more in the dig game, doing more overall.
Hernandez serves. Piercefield keeps it up to Case. Case to Marr. Marr is blocked, but out of play from the Falcons. The first point goes to Western.
Great job by the Falcons getting hands on it. That was Otten and Andrews on the combined block. It was more so just unable to tool that ball on the inside and get it in the brown of the court.
Simpkins serves. Otten looks to set up Tyler. Tyler goes off the block. Simpkins with an overpass. Andrews with a strike in front of Logan Case.
And the putback by Jessica Andrews is so lethal. You've got to love the heads-up attitude from both. Tyler did it in the first set, and now Andrews just putting it back.
That attack percentage for the Falcons with those errors, only 12 kills on 9 errors. This one is an ace to the Falcons. It'll be the second to Lindsay LaPinta. They lead 2-1. It's going to be huge to stay ahead in this set. Western's a gritty team, and even if you can put a little bit of a streak together, they're going to try and stay ahead, and normally they'll be successful. LaPinta with another one is dug out. Case sets up Marr. Marr just has to tap it over. Tyler to Otten. Otten with a strike as it was going to land on top of the net. So just tried to get that one over. Brusick with an attack and just tumbles in. That was a good strike, perfectly executed by Mary Claire Brusick.
And so far today, we're seeing a really good job of placement. No matter who it is for Western Michigan, they are hitting those back corners, managing to just tuck it on the lines. And Bowling Green, who are playing a little bit up, a little vulnerable to those attacks.
Boyer serves long, so the lead will go back to the Falcons 3-2. As I was mentioning before, 12 kills for the Falcons, 9 errors, 4 of which to Newblatt, 4 go to Lauren Hovey. Both have more errors than kills in this game, and they have 22 out of 45 total attempts for the Falcons. So efficiency has not been there for Bowling Green. Looking to improve that in this second set. Case back sets, Mers with a strike, and LaPinta keeps it up. Otten over to Mathill. Mathill goes off the block and down near side. Falcons lead by 2.
And great slide there as Alexis Mathill off the set from Amanda Otten, just getting a clear lane.
Number 11, Amanda Otten, the setter. Over, Piercefield, the Case. Case sets it up. This one's overpassed by the Falcons, Sydney Hernandez, and Western Michigan will be there to put it away.
Maybe a bit of a poor decision there for Amanda Otten. Instead of opting to go up for the joust against Madison Mers, she just kind of opted to see what Mers was going to do, didn't put her hands up, and then Mers easily just tapping it down for the score.
4-3 Falcons. Alana Erickson serves Hernandez. Hernandez to Otten. Otten sets from behind the 3-meter line, and a strike from Mia Tyler will be the 5th point of the Falcons in this set.
Mia Tyler slicing that one off of Alana Erickson cross court. That was a moonshot by the senior.
Anders for the serve. One ace in this game, no errors. This one tumbling in. Case 4 sets. Salesman block way back. Case back to Salesman. Salesman with a strike kept up by LaPinta. Anders will have to bump set. Over to Newblatt. Newblatt with an attempt finds the floor on the back right corner. 6-3, the Falcons. Maybe that first set was the kick in the pants they needed.
Now we're starting to see the Falcon outside hitters get a little bit better off. Jordan Newblatt, 3 kills now. Lauren Hovey still sitting with 1 kill.
Set long by Anders. That's 1 ace and 1 error for her on services in this game. 5 aces to 1 error for the Falcons to start. And Coach Allie Cook said before the game started, she said they want to serve with conviction, but they also don't want to gain a lot of errors, which they have lately. They haven't had the best ace to error ratio. Back to Hovey. Hovey tries to tip it over. Case keeps it up. Brusick with the second chance. Mers will just have to knock it over. Otten force that over to Mattil. Mattil goes off the block and out of play on the near side. 7-4. The Falcons lead is 3.
5 kills on 5 total attempts for Alexis Mattil. That is a perfect hitting percentage right now for the 5th year. Not to mention the middle blocker also has a block.
5 kills on 8 attempts in this set for the Falcons after 9 errors in the first. Simpkins a little bit of a misreceive. Case has to set way across to Salesman. Salesman's dug out by Mattil. Mattil to Tyler. Tyler to Hovey. Hovey off the block, but it spins out of play. Wow, that was a cross-court spinner that exited the playing surface. And Western can't get a point. To be honest, it was a fantastic block.
I'm going to be honest, a little bit of luck on the Falcons side there. You look at that block, the way the spin went, carrying down the net and just out of play.
Brusick with an attempt, and Mattil on the back row just can't handle this one, understandably. 8-5, Western takes advantage, and that'll send one of the best setters in the MAC, if not the, Logan Case, back behind. We can talk all day about the setter of the year situation and who should have won it. Legitimate case to be made for both of the setters in this game, Amanda Otten and Logan Case. Neither one of them won. Hovey with this one, strikes it down off of Alana Erickson on the back row.
And I think in this tournament, Ben, there were 4 setters that really had a shot. You have Otten, you have Case. I'd say you could give it to Lee from Buffalo, and obviously the winner, Allie Corba from Central Michigan.
9-5, Bowling Green over Western Michigan. The Whitney Houston and or Dolly Parton score, however you want to look at it. Case over to Brusick. Brusick is kept up by Hovey, but it hits the net and it won't fall. Absolutely insane dig by Hovey. It just doesn't end up reaping any fruits.
And Newblatt there tried to get the second touch on it to make it playable, and the ball going into the net made a weird trajectory for her. You could tell she was maybe just about a miscalculation away from pulling that out.
Anders digs it out. LaPinta bumps set. Newblatt with another attempt. Strikes this one cross court. It's kept up. Case has to set from all the way on the back line. Julia Marr with her attack is blocked. Now she gets another one off the block and down on the Falcon side.
And Ben, that is what makes Western Michigan so lethal. If you can get the ball to Logan Case on the second touch and she can set it up, it's almost a perfect set every time. It completely resets the offense.
Newblatt to Otten. Otten sets up Andrews. Andrews just tries to tip it in. Wins the joust on this. Case keeps it up, but it goes onto the orange and outside the playing surface, and 10-7 is the Falcon lead.
Otten putting it down there as it got bobbled up and sent outside. And now Falcons they're really starting to establish themselves right above the net, kind of setting up a no-fly zone, if you will.
Western leads in blocks in this game, 3-2. Surprising because they were one of the worst blocking teams in the MAC this year. This one's blocked down and deep. Simpkins lays out, but the block crosses the entirety of the Western Michigan side of the court. And 11-7 is our score.
And that's another play where, if you ask head coach for the Falcons, Daniela Tomic, that's really just the ball falling your way in that case. Off the block, going long, just managing to tuck itself inside.
Piercefield to Case. Case over the middle to Brusick. Brusick catches most of the net, not as much of the arm of Anders. Hovey digs this one out. Otten set up to Tyler. Tyler, cross-court attack, kept up by Piercefield. Case back to Marr. Marr just pushes it over, trying to find open space. LaPinta cuts it off. Otten into Andrews. Andrews off the block and down. 12-7 Bowling Green.
What a delay there by Jessica Andrews on the attack. Faked out the entire Western Michigan defense. She jumped as that ball had been set, looked like she was going to get a blast, and no, she just kind of hovered there and waited and got the soft touch.
Hernandez, good serve. Case across to Marr. Marr tries to poke it in. It'll be essentially a free play for the Falcons. Tyler off the block and out of play. Mia Tyler gives 13-7 to the scoreboard. I am flabbergasted that Colleen Munson has not used a timeout yet.
It's almost like these teams switched jerseys in the second set. Bowling Green is doing everything right. Western Michigan kind of making the same mistakes Bowling Green did in the first.
Case to Brusick, kept up by Tyler and Hovey. Amanda Otten with this attack. 6'3", got it nice and easy over the net. Patchett, her first time and first appearance in this tournament. Tyler wins the joust at the net, kept up by Western. Case tries to keep it alive, but can't do it. BG takes advantage of a blocked attack from Annalise Patchett, and now a timeout will be taken by Colleen Munson as the score is 14-7 Bowling Green. They've doubled the Broncos, but they trail in sets 1-0 on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU Hockey is back in the Slater Family Ice Arena for the first game against Michigan Tech on Friday, November 29th. Join the voice of Falcon Hockey, Ben Korak, on the call at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for the puck drop on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU has earned the 1 seed in the MAC tournament and will face off against the winner of Buffalo versus Western Michigan in the semifinals. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak, Andrew Smith, and Chaz McNeil on the call starting at 3:45 for pregame on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Number 1 seed Bowling Green leads Western Michigan 14-7 in the second set of the MAC tournament semifinal between the Falcons and the Broncos. The Broncos lead 1-0, but the Falcons have come out with a vengeance in this second. They lead by double of the Western Michigan score, 14-7. Sydney Hernandez for the serve. Simpkins has to bump set back to Patchett. Patchett with a strike deep, and it's long, says the referee. That was close.
I mean, you can't really get any more mustard on a ball cross court and get it as close as that Western Michigan attack. That was a very well-placed shot, just a bit long.
Simpkins keeps it up. Patchett again with this one. Sends it. Looked like it was going to be long, but LaPinta keeps it up. Tyler with this one by the antenna and throws it through. A couple of touches by Western Michigan. 16-7 Bowling Green.
Amazing spatial awareness there for Mia Tyler. You're right by the pin, making sure you're not interacting with that at all. You get it to bounce off of Calcagno and another Bronco.
Point goes back to Western as Hernandez serves it into the net, but a productive streak for the Falcons. They take 4 in a row.
Falcons doubled up.
Still lead by double. We saw 9-2 the score in the first set, and then since then the Falcons have been quite strong. This is off the block, out of play. Jessica Andrews will get a kill for that one. That'll be her 6th. She leads the Falcons in killing with 12 total attempts, 500 hitting percentage with her. Alexis Mattil 5 for 5 for 1,000. And the Falcons have yet to record an error in the second set. LaPinta over, Case sets up. Back to Calcagno, and Calcagno puts it off the block and down. I couldn't tell which side it fell on, but it did fall on the feet of the Falcons.
That was a hard hit. Good job by Calcagno. And with the trajectory of that ball, you're right, it did look like it was on both sides with how much strength was put into that hit.
Regan Boyer for the serve. Simpkins, Piercefield, Case, Patchett, and Mers on the floor for Western. This one goes around the, no, it doesn't go around the antenna. Looked like it did, but I don't think that's a challengeable call. Danielle Tomic is confused, not going to pull out the green card. 17-10, Bowling Green. Serve Hernandez, overpass, blocked by Amanda Otten. It'll make Western set this one back up. Patchett has to dump it over, but can't do it. Hits it right into the net. Immediately will sub out for Julia Marr.
And a smart play there by Patchett. She just tried to do a soft touch cross court, and most of the Falcons, including Otten, Mattil, and Tyler, were all on that right side. She targeted left, but really couldn't get it over the net.
Just aimed it just a little bit. I think she just tried to get a little bit too touchy with it, left it short. Otten's serve is wide. That'll be an error to the Falcons, the third of the game, with 5 aces. Serving in the first set was very good for the Falcons. 2 for Hovey, 1 for Anders, and 1 for LaPinta. And then the second set, LaPinta's got 1, but 2 errors to the Falcons. They lead 18-11, I should say. Otten force set to Mattil. Mattil finds the open space, puts it right through. 19-11, the Falcons lead.
6 for 6 now for Alexis Mattil. She's heating up. Jessica Andrews also has 6 on 12 total attempts.
Those middle blockers for the Falcons, maybe the MVP of the season.
That's what happens for Western Michigan when you aren't the best at blocking. You can attack down the middle, don't have to go as powerful with your hitters.
Erickson to Case. Case over to Marr. Marr is blocked by Alexis Mattil.
And just continuing on that point just a second ago, you look at the outside hitters right now. You've got Lauren Hovey. She's got 3 kills on 10 total attempts, and that's mainly because of Andalyn Simpkins. When you're trying to attack long, you target that libero, who is so good.
Case sets back. Mers is blocked. Simpkins keeps it up. Blocking for the Falcons has been great. Salesman received by LaPinta. Perfect to Otten. Otten to Newblatt off the block. Case sets back up. Mers off of 2 Falcons and out of play. That's the 12th point for Western, but they still chase 8.
Now, characteristically for Bowling Green, once they hit 20, they usually start to lean on Lauren Hovey. That's how the game goes for the Falcons. Now, will they continue to do that? That's the question.
And we haven't seen an attack from her in a while. Anders to Otten. Otten force set to Mattil. Mattil tries to put it in the donut. Case is there to cut it off. Salesman with this one is blocked again by the Falcons. Case bumps that back to Salesman. Salesman just pushes it into the back left corner. Cut off by the Falcons. Otten to Hovey. Hovey on cue. Chaz McNeil called that one 21-12.
And they tried the middles first. Middles didn't work. You go to the outside, and who better on the outside than Lauren Hovey?
If you don't get in her face and block her, it's almost a guaranteed kill. It's just unreceivable.
It's almost like she drops the ball from the ceiling every time with how precise it is.
Salesman pushes it, just keeps it inside the antenna. Hovey with the set there. Almost falls in, kept up by Boyer. Salesman to Mattil on the back row because she had the serve, and point will go to Western.
I don't know about you, Ben, but it looked like that ball went behind the pin.
It did, but no call, so we must have had a bad angle.
We've got a couple Falcon fans behind us that agree with our call as well.
As you would. 21-13. Logan Case serves. Newblatt digs it out. Back to Newblatt off of LaPinta. Off the block. Erickson to Case. Case to Salesman. Salesman's kept up by LaPinta again. Otten back to Hovey. Hovey off the block. Falls in on the side of the Falcons. See, as I said, when you get the blockers in her face, it makes it a little bit more tough on Hovey.
And, I mean, for Hovey, you can't do everything, obviously, but you'd like to see her, the second that attack, she goes out for the attack, you'd like to see her kind of adjust, try to get a dig. You know it's going to probably get blocked when there's blockers right up in your face.
Blocks tied at 4 for each seam. Hovey for this one, and Simpkins cuts off the seam, but not before. Hovey with probably a 500-mile-an-hour strike. 3 points from a second set victory for the Falcons.
Do you smell that, Ben? That's burnt volleyball in the air. What a strike there from Lauren Hovey.
Lauren Hovey for her serve. Simpkins receives, nice and easy. Case back sets the Salesman from behind the 3-meter line. Anders to Otten. Otten tries to throw it into the middle. Case cuts it off. Erickson back to Calcagno. Can't throw it through. Otten force set to Newblatt. Newblatt with a rip off the block. Simpkins keeps this one. Back to Calcagno again off the block. Hovey with the bump. Otten with the set. Back to Andrews. Andrews with the missed timing with Otten. It'll fall on their side. And no strike.
And a bit of miscommunication there on the slide, trying to get Andrews involved. Andrews wasn't really ready for that one. And of all the players on this team for Bowling Green, the most common miscommunication happens between Andrews and Otten. That's always something to look out for, and usually immediately after they keep going to that well to fix that.
Otten to Andrews. Andrews sends this one just long.
Where's my crystal ball?
She had the open space. Perfect timing on that one. It'll force the timeout to be taken by Daniela Tomic as Western tries to climb back in this one. We'll take it as well. 22 for Bowling Green, 16 for Western. BG trailing one set, but will try to take this one and tie it up. You're listening to BGSU Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hockey drops puck in the second game of a 2-game set against the Michigan Tech Huskies on Saturday, November 30th. Join the voice of Falcon Hockey, Ben Korak, at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for game time on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU men's basketball battles Weber State on Friday, November 29th at 1 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a preview and recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
BG leads by 6 in the second set of the MAC tournament semifinal between the number 1 seed Bowling Green State University Falcons and the number 4 seed Western Michigan Broncos. Avery Anders misreceives this one. It'll be an ace.
And you always hate to see that as a coach, as a player, as anybody connected to a sport. Just out of the timeout, you lose so much momentum if you don't get that point right off the bat. And now Western Michigan with a lot of that momentum.
Anders gets this one, though. Otten forced that to Newblatt. Newblatt strikes it down. Beautiful dig by Piercefield, the defensive specialist. Another block by the Falcons, but it goes wide. 2 points in a row for Western, and they're within 4.
I mean, don't look now, but Western Michigan have scored 3 in a row. One forced a Bowling Green timeout, and now only within 4. This is a formidable Western team.
Piercefield to Newblatt. Newblatt. Otten sets back up. Newblatt, the block. Kept up by Anders, who was all the way in on the net. Hovey has to set it over. Simpkins to Case. Case back set. This one finds the way to the floor. Anna Calcagno with her 6th kill of the game. And another timeout will be taken by Daniela Tomic as Western climbs within 3. We'll stay with you for this one. 22-19. We have had a switch of momentum, even just within the last couple of points. It looks like Western Michigan really made a huge adjustment in that first time out after taking the point back. And they've really climbed back into this one in a big way. 3 points is nothing, the way that this game has gone so far.
And you say 3 points is nothing. 3 points separate Bowling Green from winning that second set. 3 points also separate Western Michigan from tying everything up. So if you look at it, smart play by Daniela Tomic there, calling the timeout. First one didn't work. You've got to try the second one. And I do really think, I'm going to hammer this point home, if out of this timeout you do not score immediately, you're putting all the momentum back in the hands of Western Michigan, then I really don't know what you do if you're Bowling Green. Your fundamentals are seemingly good. You're getting good digs out of LaPinta. You're getting good setup by Otten. Your middles were functioning in the set. Now Western doing just a good job kind of outperforming Bowling Green. Both teams at a high level right now.
3 points, as you said, this first point will be huge for the Falcons to take. One, because Western Michigan is serving you and you get a prime opportunity to start off with if you capitalize. 2, because if you give it up, Western Michigan's also at 20 and you're within 2 and a side out away from a tie game.
And if Western somehow managed to win this set, then they're up 2 sets to nothing.
Piercefield, Newblatt, Otten sets back to Andrews, off the block. Otten keeps it up. Hovey with the set across, back to Newblatt, off the block, can't fall in. Case sets up over the middle to Brusick, and it's in. Oh, I thought that one was wide. But Western takes the point, and the lead is now only 2 for the Falcons.
And Piercefield returns. She was tormenting the Buffalo Bulls yesterday from the service line. Today, no different. She is a very good player, going on a bit of a run right now.
Boswavchik back in now for Newblatt. And Anders misreceives that one. It looked like it was going wide, but it was close to the line. Momentum switches way the other way. 22-21. Bowling Green still leads, but it's down to 1 point. Piercefield again. Received by Anders. Back. Otten with the attack on this one, and it's in. Otten playing the right side.
Well, you go to your middles, they get shut down. You go to your outsides, they get shut down. What's left? The setter position, and there playing at the outside is Amanda Otten. She played a good chunk of outside hitter her freshman year before getting injured. Got switched to a setter, did primary dumps now, but that was just a pure hit.
Piercefield keeps it up. Case sets over the middle to Brusick, and it's blocked by Jessica Andrews. Andrews forces a set point for Bowling Green. 2 in a row for the Falcons, 24-21. 1 point for Bowling Green to tie it up, 1 set apiece.
And phenomenal play there by Andrews, getting her 6'4" frame up for the block.
Every Falcon fan on their feet. Hernandez, received by Piercefield, back to Case. Case is off the block. Simpkins to Case. Case again to Calcagno, is again blocked by the Falcons. Simpkins sets up Marr. Marr with a rip, kept up by Hernandez. Play for the Falcons, set across to Tyler, and it won't land. Now Case has to set up Marr on the far side. LaPinta digs it out over near the scoring table. It'll be back in a dump play. Western will have a prime opportunity. Case sets this one up, back to Calcagno. Off the block, falls in! Bowling Green takes the second set, 25-21. Ties it up 1 apiece. We head into the third set with a fresh score and a new game for the Falcons and the Broncos and the MAC tournament semifinal on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Over the last week, Bowling Green men's basketball forward Marcus Johnson has had a stretch for the ages. Johnson led the team in scoring with 23 points in the November 16th spar with the Michigan State Spartans at the Breslin Center, shooting 9 of 24 from the field. Then, against Niagara on November 19th, Johnson upped the score, putting up 24 points on 10 of 11 shooting across 32 minutes. The Wheeling University transfer and Akron, Ohio native is averaging 19.8 points per game on 53.6% shooting from the field and 44.1% shooting from 3. His scoring mark is tops in the Mid-American Conference. Johnson also has yet to miss a free throw to begin the 2024 season. This has been 60 Seconds in Falcon Athletics.
BGSU Volleyball won the MAC regular season championship on Saturday, November 15th on a win against Ohio, a 16-win, 2-loss conference season for the Falcons. On Wednesday, November 20th, the MAC also announced that 6 Falcons received honors from the conference, 5 players and 1 coach. Head coach Danielle Tomich won the Coach of the Year award for coaching the Falcons to the best record in the MAC, her 3rd of her career. Junior opposite hitter Lauren Hovey won the MAC Player of the Year award with her 357 kills, 48 aces, 269 digs, 79 total blocks, and 446 points. 5th-year middle blocker Alexis Mattil and sophomore setter Amanda Otten earned All-MAC first-team honors, while junior middle blocker Jessica Andrews and senior outside hitter Mia Tyler were nominated to an All-MAC second team. This has been 60 Seconds at Falcon Athletics.
This is Lucas Kleinmeyer, and you are listening to 88.1 FM WBGU Bowling Green, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
BGSU men's basketball battles either Pepperdine or New Mexico State on Saturday, November 30th in the Arizona tip-off. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a preview and recap on bgfalconmedia.com.
BGSU men's basketball heads on the road to battle Bellarmine on Saturday, November 23rd at 3 p.m. Falcon Media Sports Network will have a preview and recap for the game on bgfalconmedia.com.
The MAC tournament returns to BG. Central Michigan has earned a 2 seed in the tournament. The Chippewas will face the winner of Friday's quarterfinal of Ball State versus Toledo. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Chad McNeil and Andrew Smith at 6:15 for pregame on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Back in that second set, they take it and tie the game up at 1-1. So essentially a 3-set game now for the Falcons and the Western Michigan Broncos, the 1 seed versus the 4 seed in the Stroh Center, the home site of the 2024 MAC tournament. We're in the semifinal game. Ben Clark here with Chaz McNeil. Chaz, it was an exciting first set. The Falcons didn't end up taking it. It was just too much of a lead to come back from, and now the Falcons showed that their lead was too much to come back from in that second as well.
I mean, Ben, I think everybody signed up for this. You look at these two teams on paper, you look at their history, their players, their pedigree, their coaches, everything lines up for this being a good matchup. And both teams, in both sets, found themselves down at different moments and both crawled their way back. Neither ended up winning the set. Bowling Green lost the first one, won the second, opposite for Western Michigan. But now set 3, clean slate. Both these teams now know they're going to go to 4 sets, fighting for set number 3.
BGSU against Western Michigan in the MAC tournament in the Daniela Tomic era, 2012 to now. 5 meetings, 2 championship meetings, 2 semifinal meetings, and a quarterfinal. Bowling Green leads the series 3-2, a quarterfinal, a semifinal, and a championship victory. And Western Michigan with a 2023 and 2017 semifinal and championship victory for them. So this one is for the tie in the Daniela Tomic era record. Colleen Munson, the head coach of Western Michigan across all of those games. She has been for 20 years. Just as long as I've been alive. This one is misreceived by Tyler on the back row. It'll go out. First point goes to Western.
And serve reception, a little bit of an issue here, as we've seen it from both teams, really. Maybe the serve game is just that good.
LaPinta to Otten, over to Andrews, and Andrews goes off the tape, and it falls down on the side of Western, 1-1.
Slide there for Jessica Andrews. Got a pretty clean kill cross court, nothing too fancy.
LaPinta over, serves zone 6, or zone 1, I should say. I apologize. Salesman hits this one into the net, and it falls on their side with a blocker in her face. I believe that was Amanda Otten, and blocking was a huge part of that second set. 5 total blocks for the Falcons to 1 for Western Michigan, contrary to 3 total blocks for Western and 1 for the Falcons in the first set. Beautiful one on a serve from Hovey, won't fall. Tyler with this attack goes into the net, and then another attack error.
And Case just keeps trying those fake sets, and
they're not falling.
Bowling Green doing a really good job. I think that's something that you circle, star, and exclamation point on the scouting report.
She tried it 7 times yesterday. It only landed 3. Mattil tries to go high off the block. Case ranging to the near side. Salesman with the attack now. LaPinta keeps it up. Otten, force set to Mia Tyler. Tyler on the left side. Can't get it to fall. Case to Brusick. Brusick goes off the top of the net. LaPinta with the bump set. Into Tyler. Tyler goes off the block, is kept up. Logan Case ranging to the near side, and again, another attacking error into the net. That's 3 straight attacking errors for Western and Bowling Green.
And a great job by the Broncos keeping it up, but Salesman there just with the miss hit a little bit too low. She tried to sneak it past Amanda Otten, couldn't even get it over the net.
3-2 BG. Amanda Otten serves. Into Erickson to Case. Case across to Salesman. Salesman goes off of Mattil's block and down. Ties the game up at 3.
And I think this is where we're going to expect to see a lot more of the classic Bowling Green versus Western Michigan. They're tied up right now. I would not be surprised if all the way to 24 we saw the teams go back and forth trading points.
Case sends her serve way long, proportionally. So the Falcons lead 4-3. We had a dominant performance by Western in the first set, frankly put. A dominant performance in the second set by the Falcons. And it looks like, as you said, Chaz, this one's going to be a little bit tighter. Maybe the marrying of those first two and some adjustments being made by both the Falcons and the Broncos.
And the thing is, the game won't end in this set as well. There's obviously going to be a fight to score, but also there's a little bit of cushion.
Case across the Salesman. Salesman's strike goes just long, so 5-3. The Falcons lead by 2. Largest lead in this game. And a challenge will be issued by Colleen Munson to see if that one went off the block. Don't know that it did. The Falcons in a huddle discussing their game plan both ways, or one way. I'm sure the players know if they touch the ball.
And I mean, to be fair, sometimes you don't. Sometimes the adrenaline's all in your brain, not on your fingertips, and can't really feel it.
5-3 is the score now as it stands.
I mean,
that's counting the attack error from Salesman who sent that ball long. So if it went off the block, it would be a 4-4 game.
Ben, speaking of it being 4-4, if that does go off the block, stats are nearly identical. 28 kills to 28 kills. 11 errors to 12 errors. Bowling Green being the second team in this. 91 attempts to 84. And a 187 hitting percentage to 190 with 5 aces. And Bowling Green have 2 more blocks, 6-4. But as a whole, it really is just mirrors of each other.
Such a great matchup.
100%.
Green and Western Michigan game. And matchup later today at 6:30 or around then, depending on when this game ends. Central Michigan and Ball State. That'll be a pretty good matchup as well. I really like Ball State's team. They're quite a scary team.
Central Michigan, a very dominant regular season team, but you're right about that Ball State team. Offensively, I think they are hands down the best purely offensive team in this tournament.
And the point will stay to the Falcons. After they showed the replay on the board, I don't know what they were challenging. It wasn't even close to going off the block. So possibly a net violation or something to that effect. The challenge will be lost by Colleen Munson. Avery Anders for the serve. 5 serving 3, Bowling Green. High arcing serve, drops in. Case across the Salesman. Salesman off the block, and it falls in for the Falcons. Lauren Hovey and Mattil watch that one fall inside the brown square.
And you can tell Alana Erickson wanted that one back. She opted not to pick that ball up, and because of that, it just tucked itself inside.
Every single player in brown and gold thought that one was going to fall wide. Case, beautiful set across. Salesman not with a good chance of striking that one, missed timing. Hovey with this one off the block by Salesman and Brusick. It's good attack from Hovey, but again with it in her face.
And that's a situation where the Broncos know that if you get up in the face of Hovey, you might get a couple of points scored against you off the block, but you got to just smother that block. Don't let her power through you.
Otten force it to Mattil off the block. It falls on the feet of Western. Brusick and Kilcagno up for that one. 7-4 Bowling Green. Jessica Andrews leads in hitting with 7 kills. She's tied with Mattil, who also has 7. 5 for Hovey and Mia Tyler. 3 for Newblatt. 2 for Amanda Otten. Case, back sets. Calcagno down the line, and it's perfect.
Whew. What a shot there by Calcagno down the line. Like you said, Ben, that was just a good, clean hit. Nobody was going to be able to dig that one out.
Maris checks into the game. Simpkins back for the serve. Anders, Otten back to Hovey. Hovey off the block and down. 8-5, Bowling Green on the attack from Hovey. You know, there was only one blocker on that side, and you leave that much open space for Hovey, she's going to find it.
Exactly, and not getting it past the blocker, going right at the blocker and off the hands. It's very hard to keep that on the brown inside portion of Mo and John Stansbury Court.
All-MAC first team and the player of the year for the Mid-American Conference, Lauren Hovey, serves this one, kept up by Western. Case now back to Calcagno. It's blocked by the Falcons and falls on their own side.
Bit of an early jump there for Edita Vatswavchik, who, good job attacking the block, but I think she was a little bit eager there. If she had waited, she would have gotten a little bit more of that ball.
Vatswavchik, perfect bump. Otten goes for the strike. Simpkins keeps it up. Case sets up Marr. Marr with the block off of Amanda Otten. And it falls in 9-6, still a 3-point game.
And no help on that one. That was all Amanda Otten. Absolutely unreal out of the sophomore.
2 solo blocks for Jessica Andrews. Amanda Otten has one now with blocking assists, 3 from Alexis Mattil, 2 from Lauren Hovey, Mia Tyler, and Jessica Andrews, and 1 from Newblatt. Hernandez serves down the line. Case back to Mers. Mers tries to tip it in. Otten back to Tyler. Tyler cross court. Simpkins is there to keep it up. Case to Marr. Marr tries to bump it across. Amanda Otten with the strike, and she puts it through. Second touch attack from Amanda Otten. The coaching staff loves it, and so do the fans.
I mean, you got to be excited about that. Whenever you see an out-of-position play, you got to get happy. And Amanda Otten right there playing much more like a pure hitter.
Hernandez serves. This one just touched the back line. Bad to worse for Western Michigan. Timeout taken on cue by Colleen Munson. Falcons lead 11-6 in the MAC tournament semifinal against the Western Michigan Broncos on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BG Women's Basketball will travel to the Daytona Beach Classic for the Thanksgiving tournament to take on Stetson Friday, November 29th, and Arkansas Saturday, November 30th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Caden Knapp on the call both days at 1 o'clock p.m. for pregame on WBGU 88.1 FM.
BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. Make sure to tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m. on WBGU 88.1 FM, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
The Stroh Center, Bowling Green on top of Western Michigan, 11-6, the 1 seed versus the 4 seed, and the MAC tournament semifinal. I'm Ben Korak here with Chaz McNeil from the Falcon Media Sports Network for all BGSU sports news and updates, including the preview and recap of every MAC tournament game that happens this weekend. Go to bgfalconmedia.com or BG_FMSN on Twitter, as well as highlight packages and rebroadcasts on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel. Case sets way across to Marr. It goes off of Hovey on the back row and out of play. The lead is still 4 for the Falcons after the timeout taken by Colleen Munson.
Off the block there, we mentioned it's all about momentum in this game. That's one of the big keys, and out of the timeout especially, that's one of the only moments in this sport where you get to stop and plan.
LaPinta, Otten, backsets Andrews. Andrews on the slide, puts it through the seam. 12-7 on the right hand from Jessica Andrews.
I mean, battle of the middle blockers right now for who's going to have the bigger performance at the end of the day. Alexis Mattil, 7 kills, 9 total attempts. Andrews, 8 kills on 17 total.
LaPinta, up and over. Case, back to Mers. Mers puts it through the seam herself. Same play for Western as it was for the Falcons. A slide over to the right side. Shooting cross court. Beautiful play by Western.
That ball almost curved halfway through the hit. It looked like it was going to go line and then
a little bit of a slider.
Yeah, just a bit.
Merce serves it over. Hernandez steps up to receive, and Alexis Mattil is now 8 for 10.
And Ben, I think you were right at the end of that first set. Bowling Green now really seems settled in to this team a little bit. They seem to know what they want to be running. They're up 5, could be up 6 at the end of this play. Commentators curse.
Yeah. Now they're only up 4 because Chaz McNeil doesn't know about the caster's curse. We've done it too much this year. It's okay. Logan Case for the serve now. The Falcons lead by 4, 13-9. Timeout taken by Colleen Munson earlier. There's only one more for Western. Otten 4 sets to Tyler. Tyler with a rip on the net and out of play. If it didn't hit the net, it looked like it was going to be in. Just a game of inches. Escapes that white line just by a little bit. Case for another serve. LaPinta into Otten. Otten a one-handed set. It'll go back to the Falcons on the block. Otten back set to Hovey. Hovey with the blockers in her face, and it's kept up by Simpkins. Kiana Salesman with another one. LaPinta dives, keep it up. Otten changes direction, back to Tyler. Simpkins is there, perfectly placed. Case sets up Salesman again on the near side. Hernandez with a diving play. Hovey down and around, and this one's dug out by Otten and way out of play behind the Western Michigan bench. 13-11, the lead is only 2 for Bowling Green.
I mean, this is a battle that's really going to happen in swings, and we know that both of these teams are way too experienced to let the other fully run away. Now Western Michigan climbing back in, only down 2 now.
Tyler LaPinta back to Tyler. Tyler just tumbles it over. Case keeps it up. Bump set from Erickson. The defensive specialist, LaPinta, dives into her own bench to save that ball, but can't do it. It's 13-12 in a 1-point game. And it'll force Daniela Thomas to take a timeout. So, Chaz, we saw a timeout taken by Munson, very productive because Western Michigan is now within a couple points of taking a lead over the Falcons, 13-12 Bowling Green. What are you seeing that's been the change for Western Michigan over the last couple of points?
Well, I think for Western it really does boil down to, can you get your block established? And I know that they don't have the best block in the MAC. They now are tied up with, or they're at 6 blocks. They're still 2 behind Bowling Green, but their block has been able to shut down Lauren Hovey pretty well. Hovey 6 kills on 17 total attempts, and on top of that with Simpkins digging out, you're getting a good high dig, which sets up for a good setup from Case, and then your outside hitters can do the rest, and we've seen that Calcagno stepping up to be specific.
That blocking's been the story of the game. 2 blocks in this set for the Falcons, 2 blocks in this set for Western Michigan, and a hitting percentage of 100 for the Falcons and .050, which is 50 for Western Michigan. So sub-100 hitting percentages for both teams, while in the second set and first set, a team had a 300-plus hitting percentage, showing the dominance that those teams had in those first 2.
You're right about that, and I wouldn't expect it to get much higher throughout this game. I think the 300 for each side, it's how they established, how they figured each other out. Now I think we'll go back to a little bit more of the back and forth stalemate.
33 kills for both teams, 14 errors for Western Michigan, 1 below the Falcons, but they have 5 more attempts. Just a .001 higher hitting percentage, 1 less ace, and 2 less blocks as the Broncos and the Falcons. Tyler Otten over the middle to Mattil. Mattil goes off the block. A nice little toolbox play from Mattil. It's blocked by Western, and they tie it up at 13. Oh, somebody hit the net, apparently. I didn't see anything.
I think
maybe
they crossed the line, yeah.
Oh, Brusek might have crossed the line on that. No challenge. Yeah, good call by the line judge.
That was a very good call.
That was a very, millimeters. 14-12, Bowling Green will take it.
And now Bowling Green, huge out of that timeout. You get the first point. What can they do with it now?
Case sets up Salesman. Salesman off the block! Lauren Hovey with all of that one sends the lead to 3 for the Falcons.
Hovey, 3 blocks so far today. She is heating up in every aspect of the word. She's also got 9 digs and 6 kills.
Enters for the serve, tumbles in. Simpkins rolls back to try and get this one. Dumping in, Calcagno. Otten set over the middle to Mattil. Mattil's blocked. Kept up, back to Hovey. Hovey sends this one, it's deep to Simpkins, who keeps it up. Back to Calcagno, off the block. Kept up by Otten, but Hovey ranged a little bit too far wide. And can't get back on that one as it hits the center of the net and falls.
Couldn't have said that better myself, Ben. That you have Otten trying to save it. She did a good job of pulling that ball up, and Hovey also broke her way towards the ball that Otten saved, so wasn't able to get that secondary touch.
Turned Hovey all the way back around. 360 trying to save that play. Otten sets up Mattil. Mattil off the block, won't fall. Piercefield back to Logan Case, I apologize. Anders to Vaswavchik. Vaswavchik with a nice strong serve from the 3-meter line. Back to Calcagno, blocked by the Falcons, but it hit the antenna. Not on the initial strike by Western, but on the block by Bowling Green, and 15-14 will be the score.
And, I mean, we mentioned how it's about things going the Falcons' way. That happened in the second set. Now Western Michigan getting a couple things to go their way.
Otten sets up Mattil, off the block and out of play. 15th attempt for Alexis Mattil, 9th kill. She now leads the team.
And that's the key if you're Bowling Green. Don't go directly into the block. Try to get just a bit around it so you can still get it to fall.
Mattil serves this one off of almost her wrist, and it tumbles into the net. And it'll decrease the lead back to 1 for the Falcons.
5 service errors now on the day for the Orange and Brown. 2 for Western Michigan. I would say that's the one spot Western have clearly outshined his aces.
Otten across to Vaswavchik. Did a good job of just getting that over. Case across to Marr. Marr with a harsh strike, and Anders was a little bit out of position. And they'll tie it up at 16. More than halfway through this third set. Falcons tied in sets 1-1 in the MAC tournament semifinal, 16-16 all. And a new game from here on out. Simpkins kept up. Otten, back set to Hovey. Hovey with no block down the seam. Takes the lead back, 17-16.
Now it's a little early to be leaning on Hovey, but that's what they needed. That's the key. Middles weren't working. Now you go to Hovey, secondary option, and bang, there's your score.
Hovey for the serve now. Again, she's sparked a couple of runs for the Falcons with her services. A couple of aces as well.
Back-to-back aces when she served from the line.
Back over, Case. Blocked by the Falcons and off the face of Andel and Simpkins. 18-16, the Falcons lead by 2.
Vaswavchik with that block. Don't see that all the time out of her, and her teammates showing her love for that one.
Hovey again. 18 serving 16. Just over the tape. Case sets up Marr. Marr from the 3-meter line is almost kept up by Hovey, but it goes back into the crowd behind the Falcon bench. 18-17, still a 1-point game. But the ways momentum has swung in this game, I mean, it's hard to say who's going to come away with this one, who's going to get a point.
Not Piercefield, excuse me, that's Boyer.
Vaswavchik off the block. Beautiful play by Simpkins to keep it up. Case sets up Marr. Off the block again. Jessica Andrews is there. Diving into the bench is Simpkins to keep it up. She's late to the party, and the Falcons push it back over. 19-17 on the block by Andrews and Otten.
I was going to say, Ben, the serve by Piercefield ended up being Boyer, but Piercefield is one of those key pieces for Western Michigan from the serve, similar to what Hovey's been doing in this game. Just both of the times they got to the line sparked runs.
2 aces, no errors for Piercefield in this game. Sydney Hernandez has an ace and an error. She serves. This one will be neither. Case backsets Mers, and she puts it right in the donut in front of Lauren Hovey. Still chasing 20. The Falcons 1 away, Western's 2 away. Third set, essentially a new game.
Both teams also with one timeout. A match reset, if you will, on this set, if they choose to use it.
Erickson chooses Tyler. Tyler with the attack now, just spins it over. Kayana Salesman scampers to the near side. She gets an attack, pushes it over. LaPinta to Otten. Otten set over the middle to Andrews, off the block and outside. 20 for the Falcons. They're the first to reach that mark. 18 for Western. They trail by 2.
This is the key for Bowling Green. Now you're in 20. You need 5 more. You're up 2. You have to put on the gas.
LaPinta serves again. Case sets up Mers. Wow, what a strong strike from Madison Mers. Second team All-MAC. And she beats LaPinta on that one. Up to 9 kills on the day, tied with Julia Marr, but chasing Anna Calcagno by 2, who has 11. Mia Tyler with this one sends it long, but it's in on the white line. 21-19. The Falcons take it back over to 2.
And that's the key for both teams. Good, clean touches. You have the serve receive, the setup by Otten, and the attack by Tyler just being right on time to put the Falcons up 2.
And you're wondering now when Munson is going to use her timeout, because Bowling Green's dangerously close to putting this set away. Amanda Otten, her second straight service error.
And Ben, I believe that's the reason why Munson opted not to use a timeout yet, is because stuff like that does happen. Momentum shifts so quickly in this sport, as now one of your best players, Logan Case, is at the service line.
Third error on the game for the Falcons, 2 in a row, or on for Amanda Otten, 2 in a row for her. Free play for Western. Case sets up, off the block, out of play. Calcagno with another one, that's 12. And a timeout will be taken by Daniela Tomic quite angrily, as her team is tied 21 all with Western Michigan in this MAC tournament semifinal. We'll take a timeout as well. 21-21, Bowling Green, Western Michigan on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hey, BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. When I was a Falcon, there was BGRSO. Now it's Falcon Media Sports Network. Keep up with all BGSU sports news and action by following BG_FMSN on Twitter/X, and check out BGFalconMedia.com. Hi, Ziggy.
Hi, this is head coach Daniela Tomic, and you're listening to Falcon Media Sports Network's coverage of BGSU volleyball on 88.1 FM WBGU, your home for all of BG athletics. Now let's get back to all the action.
Correct, here with Chaz McNeil from the Stroh Center. Daniela Tomic just took her second timeout of this set, so she's done with them for at least this set. It's tied 21 all. Pretty much the first to 4 will win this. Hard to believe that it wouldn't go to extras with the way this set has played out. Otten sets back to Hovey. Hovey with the block from Salesman and Brusick. I think Salesman got the majority of that one. Western takes the lead 22-21.
Now, Ben, barring what could be a 5th set situation, I think this next point is the most crucial if you're Bowling Green in this entire match.
Tyler to Otten. Otten back to Mattil. Mattil with a strike. Simpkins lays out to save it. Salesman with this one. It's blocked. Back across. Calcagno has to dump it. LaPinta to Otten. Otten with the free play. Sets over the middle to Mattil, off the block. Out of play. 22 all.
And that's your key. They're going to Mattil now, trying to attack right down Broadway, and it worked. With it all knotted up now at 22, Bowling Green have the ball in their hands.
Anders for the serve. An ace and an error in this game. You can't afford an error late in this third set. Sends this one long. Avery Anders gives a point back to Western Michigan. It's 23-22. Almost a wholesale change in subs from Western Michigan. Brusick, Calcagno, Julia Marr, Logan Case, Andolyn Simpkins, and Carly Piercefield. The starting lineup back on for Western. Hovey, Otten, Mattil, Vaswavchik, LaPinta, and Anders for the Falcons. Mattil with another one. This one almost falls in. Brusick saves it. Marr dumps it over. Otten sets up Mattil. Mattil with another attack off the block, almost down. Simpkins saves it. Back again, Calcagno, and the point goes to the Falcons off the block. Western Michigan stunned. We'll see what the call is here. Might have hit the antenna. Colleen Munson is asking for explanation. She's holding the green card. And it doesn't look like she's going to use it. Point to the Falcons. Huge point to take. 23-all. Late in this third set.
I mean, if that swings the way of Western Michigan, you could sign, seal, and deliver that set over.
Case, 4 sets to Marr. Marr with a rip. It's blocked by the Falcons, but falls on their own side. 24-23, set point Western. Falcons need it right here to keep the set alive. The serve goes back to Andolyn Simpkins. The defensive player of the year for the Mid-American Conference. First team All-MAC. Chance to put it away. Anders to Otten. Otten, perfect. Back to Hovey. Off the block, and it falls on the side of the Falcons. Western Michigan takes the third set off of the block of Julia Marr on the near side. We'll take a step back for a few moments, bring you the fourth set of action. Western Michigan leads over the Falcons 2-1 on WBGU 88.1 FM.
For all BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN and head over to BGFalconmedia.com.
Hey, BGSU graduate Jason Jackson from the Miami Heat here. When I was a Falcon, there was BGRSO. Now it's Falcon Media Sports Network. Keep up with all BGSU sports news and action by following BG_FMSN on Twitter/X and check out BGFalconmedia.com. Hi, Ziggy.
Don't have time to tune into a BGSU sports broadcast? Falcon Media Sports Network will have you covered with live updates of home BGSU athletic events. To follow along, head over to @BG_FMSN on Twitter X.
It's do or die for Bowling Green as we head into the fourth set. They dropped the third one to Western Michigan after leading or being tied a lot of the time, and at the end just kind of fell apart. Western Michigan capitalized on it greatly, a couple of kills in a row for Western, and they ended up taking that third set. They lead 2-1, and the Falcons cannot drop another. They have to win the next two if they want a chance at the MAC championship game tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. Ben Clark here with Chaz McNeil. Chaz, what did you see at the end of that third set that the Falcons will have to remedy?
I mean, the spacing might have been a little off for Bowling Green, quite frankly. You look at the attack was just a little bit cleaner as well, getting a little bit more strength on their hits with Western Michigan, finding holes in the floor Western Michigan was able to do. For Bowling Green, you really are struggling against Simpkins in that back row. That libero is so good. She's pulling up everything but the paint, as I mentioned before. And what happened in those final 2 points was they were all tied up at 23, and Western Michigan just had that closeout ability. They set up with Case, and they really shut down both middle blockers on offense for Bowling Green, and also Lauren Hovey. That's been the key. Lauren Hovey, not as hot in a game that you really kind of need her to be so far today. she's only got 7 kills, and she's got 9 attacking errors.
A lot of that due to the blocking from Western, just a huge blocking focus for them, especially on Hovey, as it's been all year. They still trail in blocks by 3, but 19 total blocks in this game for both teams, 11 for the Falcons, 8 for Western Michigan. BG had less errors by 4 in that last set, but they had 3 less kills. At a higher hitting percentage, the same amount of aces, more blocks, just didn't fall their way at the very end. But it is by the wayside now, and they absolutely need this set to keep their season alive. No exaggeration. If they don't win this set, they will stay home in the Stroh Center and lose a home match against Western Michigan in the rematch of last year's 2023 MAC championship.
And I mean, there's just so much history in this matchup. You look at just these past 2 games they played this season. First game was a 5-setter. Falcons reverse sweep, embarrass Western Michigan. Second game, they sweep the Broncos after really seeking revenge when you dropped the MAC tournament championship to WMU. Now they're back on your home court, and they're up 2-1. As you mentioned, Ben, do or die.
It's go time for the Falcons. Logan Case sets up across. Julia Marr blocked deep, and again it falls in. Andrews and Otten on the receiving end of that attack. Those long blocks have worked a couple times for the Falcons now.
Good, clean, solid block there for Bowling Green. It went their way in terms of distance and trajectory, but that was an all Falcons play.
Hernandez to Piercefield. Piercefield to Logan Case. Off the block. Overpass from Hovey, but she keeps the play alive. Case again across to Calcagno. Tries to push it in, and she perfectly placed it. Splits the cross there in the back left corner of the Falcons. Ties it up 1-1.
And there was somebody in the area. That was Sydney Hernandez, and Lindsay LaPinta opted to take that one out. Maybe a better decision to have Hernandez, but now this ball is going to be bobbled.
Hit a couple of Falcons, but a misreception initially by Sydney Hernandez on a great serve right down the line. Just to the right of Hernandez. Simpkins, 2 aces, no errors in this game. This one's neither. Over and across. Andrews strikes on this one in the overpass. Simpkins lays out but can't handle the play. 2-2.
I mean, that is such a lethal play. As you mentioned, Ben, on the overpass, to have Andrews get the ability to wind up and size up her shot, it is dangerous for that middle blocker.
LaPinta choosing the side that she wants to serve from. She chooses the right side of the Falcons behind zone 1. Out and in. Simpkins across to Calcagno, down the line and wide. She likes to shoot that line. The Falcons let it go. 3-2, they lead.
And smart play there by the Falcons. You could see both the blockers pulling their hands away, not letting Calcagno trick them on that one.
LaPinta serves Simpkins again. Case back to Calcagno, off the block, keeping it up. Hovey is there, sets back to behind the 3-meter line. Mathilde just has to dump it over. Case across to Marr. Marr off the block, kept up. No, it's not. Falls on the side of Western. They lead 4-2. The Falcons do, I should say, and a do or die set.
And good touches there for Bowling Green. Lauren Hovey doing a great job keeping that alive to start the point.
Case sets back to Marr. Marr's blocked again and off of Piercefield. 2 blocks in a row for the Falcons on hits from Julia Marr.
Make that a solo block and 4 assisting blocks for Otten and 6 blocking assists for Alexis Mattel.
Case, one hand side, again blocked by the Falcons. Otten and Mattel.
So with all those stats I just said, add 1 to the blocking assist category for both of those players.
7 blocking assists for Mattel, 1 solo and 5 assists for Amanda Otten. LaPinta over, the setter, Case leads back. Julia Marr with a long strike, LaPinta. Back to Otten, Otten set over the middle to Mattil, almost falls in, the whistle blows, stopping the play, and the point goes to the Falcons. Somebody hit the net. And Western will have to use their timeout and calm their girls down. 7-2, the Falcons lead, but they need the full set to keep their season and the MAC tournament semifinal alive. You're listening to BGSU Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Looking for a BGSU Athletics talk radio show? Tune into the Zig Zone every Sunday at 4 p.m., where a panel of Falcon Media Sports Network members discuss the hottest BG sports topics. Only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Falcon Media Sports Network is finally back on the road with BGSU hockey. Make sure to catch the voice of Falcon hockey, Ben Korak, on the call for every BGSU game this season on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Colleen Munson takes the timeout in the brown and gold. The Falcons lead 7-2, and Lindsay LaPinta is the server. Otten, Mattil, Tyler, Hovey, Hernandez, and LaPinta for the Falcons. LaPinta sends this serve wide right and gives a point immediately back to Western.
I mean, that's a gift if you're Western Michigan. You need to get something going out of the timeout, and just like that, Lindsay LaPinta giving the ball back to WMU.
4 aces in the first set, 1 in the last 2, and none in this one so far. Otten chases this one down, but it's wide right. So shooting themselves in the foot. The Falcons now still lead by 3, but letting Western Michigan climb back into this. Regan Boyer serves Hernandez again. Otten the bump set, back to Tyler. Tyler has to try and get it around the antenna, but can't do it. 3 points in a row for Western. 7-5, Bowling Green leads. Regan Boyer again. Again to Hernandez. This one's good. Over to Otten. Otten tries to throw it through. It's a gift for Western Michigan. This one's off the block. Hovey back over. Mars blocked at the line by Otten. Falls to the Falcons. Otten across to Tyler. Tyler pushes it over. Kept up by Boyer. Again, a deep strike from Julia Marr. Back across. Falls in on an attack from Mia Tyler. Falcons needed that one. Get the ball back into their hands. They lead 8-5.
Sustained touches is what's needed. Lauren Hovey doing a good job as the anchor, getting a couple digs there on that possession, and Bowling Green able to answer, now up 3.
Amanda Otten, first team All-MAC. The sophomore, 3 errors in this game. This one's not an error. Cross to Marr. Marr with a big swing, and it exits the field of play after hitting Sydney Hernandez.
I mean, there was
full wind up in a swing.
No shot of return.
No shot. Erickson for the serve. 8-6. Falcons lead 2. Serving over. LaPinta sets from behind the 3-meter line to Tyler, and Tyler sends it just long. And the lead is now 1 for the Falcons after the timeout taken by Colleen Munson when it was 7-2. Erickson, the serve specialist for Western Michigan, the freshman, Grand Rapids, Michigan native. Hernandez to Otten. Otten sets up Mattil. Mattil off the block and over in front. 9-7, the Falcons lead.
As that will be kind of a swing moment, you'd like to hope, if you're Bowling Green.
Anders for the serve. 1 ace, 2 errors. Lofting up and over. Boyer handles. Case across to Mers. Mers puts it off the block on her slide to the right side. First time we've seen that from Madison Mers today. She goes back for the serve now.
so far today. Madison Mers, no aces or errors.
LaPinta to Otten. Otten backsets Mattil. Mattil off the block. Hovey keeps it up. Otten backsets again to Newblatt. First time we've called her name in a while. Case across the Salesman. Salesman again off the block. Otten has to keep it up. LaPinta with the set behind the 3-meter line. Across to Hovey. Off the block, kept up by Mers on the back row. Now across to Salesman, the outside hitter. Keeps it up. Anders across to Hovey again. Blocked at the line. Otten sets up Hovey. Hovey with another swing. Puts it through Reagan Boyer. 10-8. Falcons first to double digits.
And that was a valiant effort by Western Michigan, keeping the hands up, constantly trying to put that ball down. And eventually it's just going to be a war of attrition that Lauren Hovey will win.
Mattil for the serve. Again, do or die for the Falcons. If they lose this set, their season's over. Case to Brusick. Brusick puts it through. Amanda Otten on the back row. 10-9. Falcons lead by 1. Western leads by 1 in sets. MAC tournament semifinal game. 1 seed Falcons, 4 seed Western after they beat Buffalo yesterday. Otten to Hovey. Hovey with a deep strike. Simpkins is there. Case back sets to Calcagno. Calcagno can't get it to land. Set across to Andrews. Andrews can't get it to fall. Case with the bump. Now a set up from Erickson. Set up by the Falcons. Anders bump set. Back to Newblatt. Newblatt's blocked. LaPinta keeps it up. Otten sets back to Hovey. Hovey with a strike off the block. It's crunch time for the Falcons, and they go to Hovey.
You said it best, Ben. Falcons now, your season's on the line. You have to do anything that works. If going to Lauren Hovey primarily works, you have to do it. If it's not something you've done all season, you've got to keep your foot on the gas pedal.
Pancaked by Simpkins on a great play. Tipped off the paint. A block from the Falcons, and Western comes away with the point. Simpkins the MVP of that one, laying out fully, pancaking that ball. Hand flat on the floor. Could have been an ace from Hovey.
That was a great serve by Hovey. She taped it, but I mean, better.
I mean, Simpkins showing why she's the defensive player of the year.
Exactly.
Anders Otten. Otten 4 sets Newblatt. Newblatt off the block. Doesn't fall in. Simpkins there again. Case keeps it up. It'll be a dump play for the Falcons. Otten makes a bad decision to dump it over. Marr with an attack now. Anders beautiful dig. Across. Newblatt tries to push it through. Case again won't get a set, but she gets the bump. Calcagno with a dump over. Now the Falcons. Hovey set across to Newblatt. Newblatt off the block. Can't fall in. Case just gets it over. Another try for the Falcons. Amanda Otten goes for the strike, and it's blocked by Western, who ties the game up at 11.
Just maybe a baffling decision there by Amanda Otten on the dump. She's tried it a couple times, and that's not really what the Falcons need right now. They need to get more strong shots, not go for these soft touches.
Otten sets up Newblatt again, off the block. Simpkins there. She's saved the last 3 points for Western. This one's off the block and can't save this one.
Jessica Andrews putting a I'll do it myself sticker on her jersey.
Tyler and Hernandez in. Anders and Newblatt out. 12-11, the Falcons lead. Do or die. Here in the 4th set, Western leads 2-1. Number 1, the freshman from Bloomington, Illinois, serves. Back to Calcagno, tries to push it deep. LaPinta to Otten. Otten set over the middle to Andrews. Beautiful touch by Jessica Andrews. Just pushes it over the blockers. I have been immensely impressed with this blocking from Western Michigan. They're still being outblocked by 7, but they've been in the face of the Falcons all day, more than they have all year.
The unofficial block as well, just stopping the play, kind of resetting with the Falcon attack. Getting those quote-unquote blocks that don't actually count on the stat sheet. There's been a lot by Western.
13-12, BG leads. Stats still tight. That block's the only thing that really stands out. 16 for the Falcons, 9. And Amanda Otten tries to go for the donut again and leaves it short. 13 all, Western and Bowling Green tied. So another fresh game situation. Simpkins serves, dug out. Otten to Andrews. Andrews smacks it down next to the right pin.
Wow. Jessica Andrews down the line. She is really stepping up late in this match.
24 total kills from Bowling Green middle blockers, Alexis Patil and Jessica Andrews, on 45 total attempts.
478 hitting percentage.
And an ace. LaPinta gets this one to fall. More of a misreception from Carly Piercefield.
Carly Piercefield hit that into Julia Marr.
LaPinta again. Falcons need the points. Back up to Case. Case sets up Calcagno. Just tipped at the line by Matil, but nobody's tight enough in to save that one from falling. Still a one-score game. Falcons lead. Regan Boyer. Back again. A lot of serves in this game. 2 aces, 1 error. 2 of 7 total aces for Western in this game. Hernandez to Otten. Over the middle to Matil. Off the block and a wide of Andel and Simpkins. Lead is 2 for the Falcons. Need a big run here. Try and put this set away. Number 11, Amanda Otten. Has to serve it. No aces, 3 errors for Otten in this game. Tumbles in, Simpkins handles. Case has to set it up for Marr. Marr gets blocked by the Falcons, but Western will get another chance at it. Marr again, not off the block. Hernandez keeps it up. Tyler, the bump set, it goes back, and it'll be dumped in by Bowling Green. Another chance for Western. Now this one from Mers on the slide to the near side. Beautifully executed play. 16-15, Bowling Green leads by 1.
And that's the benefit of having a setter like Logan Case. She can put it anywhere you want it, and then that was just perfect placement that allowed Madison Mers to lay down the kill.
Lana Erickson again, the serve specialist. Back in, Hernandez to Otten. Otten quick over the middle to Matil, kept up beautifully by Boyer, the defensive specialist on the back row. Salesman with this one, kept up by Hernandez. Tyler fields this one, smacks it over. Case now with a chance to get it to Marr, and she will. I'm sorry, Madison Mers gets 2 kills in a row and ties the game up at 16.
Now, Western Michigan only have 1 timeout. BG have 2. Do you think they'll wager a timeout here with the game all tied up?
I think Danielle Tomic is going to wait a little bit until a run for Western. This point will go back to Bowling Green. 17-16. It's a good thing she didn't use the timeout there.
I was just about to say that point is now moot as Bowling Green now have the ball in their hands. This is, again, another key moment for them. Season will end if they cannot win this set.
Mia Tyler for the serve has not recorded an ace in this season. Doesn't serve all that much. Cross to Salesman. Tyler on the back row keeps this one up. Hovey with a strike, puts it through. Oh, but it's wide. Oh, I think Tomic should use a challenge. I think she's going to do it, and she's going to say that Regan Boyer touched it while she was trying to field that one. A huge challenge for the Falcons if it lands. 17-all right now, but that's because Western gained the point. We see it on the replay here. Well, as we look at it, we'll have a legal ID in a second. You're listening to BGSU Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
This is Lucas Kleinmeyer, and you're listening to 88.1 FM WBGU Bowling Green, home of the Falcon Media Sports Network.
We can't get a definitive look at it. The only look that matters is from Katie Wagner, referee number 2, one on the far side of the court next to the scorer's table. She's looking at it on the monitor here. What a huge swing for the Falcons if it ends up landing. They'll have 2 points ahead of Western.
It really is it really will even everything up depending on where this goes. If the Falcons win this challenge, they'll go up 2, could win the set, and then that would even up the entire match. If Western hold the point, it'll remain tied at 17, and it's an entirely new match.
Still looking at it is Katie Wagner. Falcons are tied in kills with 9 in this set. They have less errors by 3. They have less total attacks by 2, a higher hitting percentage, 1 less ace, but 4 more blocks. That's kind of been the story of these last 3 sets for Bowling Green and Western Michigan, that the Falcons have really statistically played better than Western Michigan. They just haven't got some balls to fall their way, and that's how we found the last set fall to Western, and they lead 2-1.
They're taking a very long look at this challenge.
They are taking, it's an important point, and I understand why they're taking a long look at this to see. It's not a tip at the net. It's a tip before it exits the field of play on the near side. I believe it was Regan Boyer there looking to receive it. The cards are dealt. Wagner telling the scorer's table. Whistle blows, and the point stays with Western Michigan. Bowling Green loses their challenge.
That's huge.
Massive point for Western Michigan. That could mean a lot in the outcome of this game. It's 17-all. Again, fresh set for both teams. First 1-8, essentially. Win by 2. The Falcons with the season on the line. They need this to win the set, or their season's done. Otten sets up Mattil, blocked, kept up by Mattil. Set across from Hovey, another attack. This one's from Newblatt, kept up by Logan Case, and Lauren Hovey. Just an absolutely fantastic right hand. Put that one out through on the overpass. A little bit of an awkward play. Ranging over was Case with the one hand. I couldn't tell if it was going to clear the net or not, and it did. And Lauren Hovey with the left hand.
Phenomenal answer by Lauren Hovey.
Big point.
Put the crowd in this game as well.
Matilda Simpkins. Case sets up Salesman. Salesman is received by Mattil on the back row. Otten sets back to Hovey. Hovey sends it way long. Not off the block. Just tried to go high hands on that and couldn't get it done. 18-all. Mattil off. LaPinta in, because Mattil was on the back row after her serve. Logan Case for the serve now. She's got no aces, 1 error. This one's neither. Newblatt to Otten to Andrews. Andrews in front of Andolyn Simpkins. Beats the Defensive Player of the Year 1918. Hearts pounding in Bowling Green. BG chasing 20. They lead by 1. They need 6 more to put this set away, tie it up, and make a 15-point 5th set. The end of one of these 2 team seasons. Simpkins dives. Case with a beautiful bump set. Salesman with a strike. Otten sets up Andrews. Off the block again. Anders bump set back to Newblatt. Newblatt for the deep strike. Case keeps it up. Lana Erickson with the bump set. Back blocked by the Falcons, and it falls on the brown and gold side. 20-18 Bowling Green.
And a quick block there. That one goes off of the hand of Jessica Andrews, and I mean, we've called her name how many times now today? She has just played lights out.
2 solo blocks, 7 assists. Case, one-handed set. Salesman just has to knock it over. Bump set from Otten. Newblatt with a deep strike. Did not go off the block, and it goes long. Oh, yes, it did go off the block. What a turn for the Falcons. 21-18. They lead by 3.
Crucial. Do not step off the gas if you're Bowling Green. You need 4. You have 3 to work with.
Number 14, Lauren Hovey gets it over. Simpkins to Case. Case bump set. Across to Calcagno. Sends it wide left. 22-18 Bowling Green. And Colleen Munson will take her second time out. Falcons lead by 4. And the 4th set, they trail in sets by 1. They need it to keep the season alive. You're listening to BGSU Volleyball on WBGU 88.1.
Looking for a BG Athletics discussion show? Check out The Swoop, where a rotating cast of Falcon Media Sports Network co-hosts talk everything BGSU athletics. New episodes are available every Thursday at 6 p.m. on the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel.
The MAC Volleyball Tournament comes to a close with the championship game on Sunday, November 24th. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak and Chas McNeil at 3:45 p.m. for pregame and 4 p.m. for tip-off, only on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Take a deep breath. The Falcons lead by 4, 22-18. They're trailing in sets 2-1 against number 4 seed Western Michigan, but they lead by 4, and winning this one extends their season at least by a 15-point set. Hovey serves this one in, and it's wide, so the point will go back to Western after the timeout called by Munson. No more timeouts for Western, but a little bit late in the game to be using any. The serve will go to Carly Piercefield. Big swing for Western, too. Putting this away in 4 would be huge for them heading into the MAC championship tomorrow. Otten back to Andrews. Andrews off the block and on the side of the Broncos. 23-19, a point away from set. Beautiful backslide. That slide has worked so well today. 14 kills for Andrews. She leads the Falcons in kills. Mattil only one behind with 13. Both have about 25 total attempts. That's 50 out of 156 total for Bowling Green. Sydney Hernandez, 23, serving 19. In and over. Piercefield to Case. Case to Marr. Marr off the block. Hernandez keeps it up. LaPinta the bump set. Into Tyler. Tyler with a rip. It's kept up by Piercefield. Marr with another one. Blocked by the Falcons and in! Set point, Bowling Green, 24-19. And the Stroh Center's on its feet.
There has been a clear shift in energy, momentum, hope in the Stroh Center.
Ziggyville holding up 1. Sydney Hernandez, that's her number. Gets it over, falls in. Logan Case keeps it up. Brusick with an attack. Amanda Otten across to Mia Tyler. Tyler with a long strike. Simpkins keeps it up. Case with a setup to Brusick, and it goes off Hovey and falls on the side. Still set point Bowling Green. They lead by 4.
Falcons have 4 to play with. They also have 2 timeouts. Everything points in the way of the orange and brown, at least for set number 4.
Simpkins serves. 2 aces, no errors. This one's neither. Otten sets up Andrews. Andrews with the strike! 25-20. Bowling Green takes the 4th set.
Just what Bowling Green needed.
We had to a 5th set in the Stroh Center in the MAC volleyball semifinal. Bowling Green, number 1 seed. Western Michigan, the number 4. 1st to 15 punches their ticket to the MAC Championship 2024. We'll take a step back for a few moments. You're listening to BG Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Women's basketball stays on the road, traveling to Columbus to battle ranked Ohio State on Sunday, November 21st. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Lucas Kleinmeyer and Caden Knapp on the call at 12:45 for pregame and 1 p.m. for tip-off on WBGU 88.1 FM. BGSU hockey is back in the Slater Family Ice Arena for the first game against Michigan Tech on Friday, November 29th. Join the voice of Falcon Hockey, Ben Korak, on the call at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for the puck drop on WBGU 88.1 FM.
1 seed in the MAC tournament and will face off against the winner of Buffalo versus Western Michigan in the semifinals. Join Falcon Media Sports Network's Ben Korak, Andrew Smith, and Chaz McNeil on the call starting at 3:45 for pregame on WBGU 88.1 FM.
You can't make this stuff up. Two teams, Bowling Green and Western Michigan, down to their final set one of them down to their final set of the season. Is it going to be the Falcons? Is it going to be the Broncos? We head to a 15-point fifth set, changing sides after the 8th point. It's conflicting feelings about the fifth set, Chaz McNeil, because, I mean, we said it a few moments ago. You go on a run. You go on like a nice 6-0 run or something, it's really tough to come back from that. Margin of error is so small.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, the thing about the fifth set is obviously if you gain enough momentum, you usually win the set, you take it over. But Bowling Green have a very seasoned time with 5 sets. They took this exact same Western Michigan Broncos team to 5 sets. They reverse swept them at home. The first game of MAC play was a 5-set match against Ball State. They lost. Their only 2 MAC losses came in 5-set losses to Eastern and Central Michigan. So Bowling Green does know how to play in 5-set matches.
3 reverse sweeps this season, Toledo, Western, and Ball State. It's not in that situation, but it's a 5-set match nonetheless. What a game between these two teams. The Falcons, all smiles as coined by Daniela Tomic's team. They need this set to go to the MAC championship for the 6th year in a row.
There's a lot riding on this set with an atmosphere you could cut with a knife.
Alana Erickson receives the serving target from her coach, Colleen Munson. Up and over, it's LaPinta to Otten. Otten with a strike, it's kept up by Simpkins to Case. Case, back set to Mers. Mers off the block, she's been outstanding in this game. Madison Mers, 13 kills now on 22 attempts. Probably the best attacker for Western Michigan. Serve again from Erickson, 1 serving 0. It's Hernandez to Otten. Otten sets way across to Tyler. Tyler sends it deep, and it's a 2-0 lead for Western.
Both times just a bit long on the attacks. Might want to buckle down a bit.
Erickson again, 3rd serve in a row. 2-0 Western Michigan. Serves Tyler. LaPinta bump set across to Andrews, and Andrews just has to dump it over. Free play for Western. Case sets up Mers again. It's blocked by the Falcons and out of play. 3-0 is the Western Michigan lead.
This next point is crucial.
1st to 15, win by 2. Erickson again, 4 serves in a row. Serves Hernandez. Hovey set. Back to Otten. Otten sends it way wide as it was behind the pin. 4-0. Timeout taken by Daniela Tomic as her team is scoreless in this set. We'll stick through it. Again, like we mentioned, this is what's on the line. The final set for one of these two teams. The 1-seed Falcons and the 4-seed Broncos. Winner plays tomorrow at 4:30 against either the Central Michigan Chippewas or the Ball State Cardinals. The Falcons are down 4-0. And 2 attack errors from the Falcons and 2 kills by Madison Mers.
It's one of those things where you mentioned, you gain momentum, you get that swing, that's all you need to win. And the good thing is for both teams that you still keep 2 timeouts despite the shortened amount of scoring that's needed to win. So for Bowling Green, you have a timeout, you'll have 1 left, but you have to find ways. They tried getting to Otten there, she sailed it. You tried getting a Mia Tyler involved attack error by her, and then just trying to weather the attacks by Madison Mers. Falcons unable to.
Falcons and Broncos back on the court. 4-0 Western. You need a couple points here if you're the Falcons, and keep it close before you get to that 10-point threshold. Alana Erickson again. 5th serve in a row for Western, unanswered from the Falcons. LaPinta, Hovey, Tyler, Hernandez. Andrews and Otten. No Alexis Mattil. LaPinta in the game instead on the back row. Erickson over. Dug out by LaPinta. It's over toward the official. Beautiful bump set over. Andrews just has to get it and clear it. Case to Mers again, and she puts it through. 5-0 run for Western. Madison Mers with 3 kills in this 5th set. A third of the way there is Western. Another one from Erickson. Tyler to Otten. Otten with a strike. Joust lost at the net. LaPinta just has to dump it over. Case across to Salesman. Salesman off the block. Diving play by Hernandez. Otten sets up Tyler. Tyler off the block. Simpkins has to keep it up. It'll be dumped over by Mers. Now Otten with another attempt. Goes over the middle to Andrews. Andrews can't fall it. Case to Otten. Otten back to Andrews. Andrews with a strike. Boyer keeps it up. Fight for both teams. Salesman goes off the block, out of play. 6-0 run for Western to start this 5th set.
It is going to take a monstrous comeback for Bowling Green to even things up here, but you just have to take it a point at a time.
Almost halfway there is Western Michigan. Tyler to LaPinta, across to Andrews. Andrews with a strike. Simpkins keeps it up. Case backs set to Mers. Mers off the block again. The whistle blows and somebody hit the net. It was a Falcon and a 7-0 run, and we'll get another timeout called by Daniela Tomic. She's out of timeouts for what could be the season. 7 for Western Michigan, 0 for Bowling Green. The 4 seed leading the 1 seed in the 5th set of the MAC semifinal. Madison Mers has been the story of these last couple of points. 4 kills with an intermediate one by Keona Salesman. And a couple of attacking errors by the Falcons as well. It's down to crunch time for the Falcons.
Western
1 point away from halfway there.
Stunning. They are playing absolutely lights out in this set. 5 kills. 7 total attempts, 714 hitting percentage. Bowling Green just cannot answer.
The blocking for the Falcons needs to be on point, especially on that Madison Mers slide, which Western is probably going to take advantage of because you haven't stopped it in this 5th set so far. You're going to have to keep an eye out for it, and they know that as well. So look for the ball to go to Keona Salesman or Madison Mers on the slide near side. 2 different sides of the floor. Case does such a good job of reversing flow, play to play. 7-0. The Falcons with an egg up on the board, almost halfway through the set for Western. Need a legendary comeback if you're Bowling Green to extend your season. Erickson serves over. Tyler to Otten. Otten settles it to Tyler. Tyler with a strike. First point for Bowling Green. That's a big one right there.
Deep breath moment for the orange and brown. You get that first point, you can unsettle Western Michigan a bit, and you put the ball right back in one of your seniors' hands.
7-1 Western. LaPinta serves over. Boyer to Case. Case back set to Mers again. Off the block. Hovey keeps it up. Otten the bump set. Perfect across to Tyler. Tyler with the strike again, kept up by Simpkins. Case sets up Keona Salesman off the block, and it falls out of play. 8-1. And the Falcons and the Broncos will switch side as the Broncos have reached 8. That's the halfway mark to 15. It's down to this. The Falcons need 14 before the Broncos get 7. Must take points, every point now if you're the Falcons. You can't give up any. No margin for error. Mers serves. Hernandez across. Western keeps it up. That'll be 4 touches and it's out of play. So the point goes to Bowling Green. 8-2. Starting a run. Amanda Otten has the serve. Her serve day has not been the best. No aces. 3 errors for the sophomore. First full season played with the Falcons. Legitimate case for the setter of the year. Didn't win it, but certainly could have, maybe should have. Simpkins to Case. Case across the Salesman. Off the block, almost falls in. The Falcons could have got a point there. Salesman dumps it over. LaPinta saves. Otten over to Mattil. Mattil just has to get it over. Case with a one-handed set and a dump play from Western. Hernandez dives in, makes the play. Otten into Hovey, which is another dump play. Case up. Erickson bumps that back to Salesman. Down the line, and it's wide. Woo! That one was close. 8-3, Western.
I mean, I don't think you can approach this game with anything but a held breath if you're Bowling Green. This set, you will need everything, but 2 straight points for the orange and brown go a long way.
Otten over, received by Simpkins. Case to Salesman, blocked by the Falcons. Back to Western. Case, back to Salesman, and she puts it through Sydney Hernandez. This is why the 15-point fifth set is so crucial to get a hot lead on, because, I mean, just some really good plays. At this point, 9-3. You only need 6 more if you're Western, and you need 12 more if you're Bowling Green.
Falcons need 6 just to tie up the ball game.
Hernandez to Otten. Otten backs it to Hovey. Hovey with a strike off of Erickson and into the bench. 9-4, 5-point game. Belle Laube in the game for the Falcons with Jordan Newblatt. Avery Anders has not checked back in. They want Laube to take the serve. She's only played 24 sets, 5 aces, 11 errors.
Laube, her biggest strong suit, she's great in the serve receive.
Simpkins to Case. Case, back set. Calcagno with this one. Amanda Otten keeps it alive. LaPinta dives into the bench, and it'll go away. 10 for Western, 4 for Bowling Green. No timeouts for the Falcons. Anders checks back in for Laube. She'll play the serve-receive game now. I would imagine she'll be targeted. Hovey, Mattil, Otten, Newblatt, LaPinta, and Anders on the floor for the Falcons. Carly Piercefield, the server for Western, 10-4. Up and over, Newblatt. Bump set from Anders across to Newblatt. Perfect, blocked, kept alive by LaPinta just over the net. Case sets up over the middle to Brusick, and it's off LaPinta and wide. 4 away is Western Michigan from advancing to the MAC championship. Piercefield again. Over to Newblatt. Otten sets up Hovey. Hovey with a rip and puts it down. 11-5.
Backs against the wall for the Falcons. All you have to do is win it point at a time. You can't win all 6 in a row. You just have to chip away.
Mattil for the serve now. Must win points for the Falcons. They're running out of time. Only 3 more to give. Case back sets Calcagno again. Amanda Otten digs it out. Western will get another chance, but the Falcons keep it alive. Julia Marr with another one, blocked. Newblatt set from Otten, back to Hovey. Hovey with another one and puts it down. Hovey's 13th kill of the game is the 6th in the 5th set for the Falcons. They trail by 5.
You know the saying, Ben, gotta feed the hot hand. Hovey 2 kills in a row, going back to the well.
Mattil for another one. Clears it. Simpkins has to dive and save this one. Case over the middle to Brusick. Off the tip in the block. Free play for the Falcons. Otten to Hovey, and Hovey's blocked by Julia Marr at the point. 12-6, doubling the scores. Western 2 away from set point, 3 away from sending the Falcons home. Simpkins again. Anders receives. Otten back to Hovey. Hovey with another one. Off the block, out of play. Keep feeding Lauren Hovey. (12-7). Western Michigan with the lead by 5. They're closing in. The Falcons need a couple of runs in a row.
Broncos have had the number of Lauren Hovey, but right now breaking out just a bit is the junior.
Knuckles this one in. Case to Marr. Marr is blocked, and it falls wide. 13 down to their last 2 points. Falcons trail by 6. They need 8 more unanswered to win. Reagan Boyer over. Anders digs it out. Otten to Newblatt. Newblatt off the block into Case. Case back to Brusick, and Brusick, that's Madison Mers, keeping her 5th set alive, and it's set point for Western Michigan. They have double over the Falcons. And Daniela Tomic and Bowling Green down to their last point. Regan Boyer up and over. Newblatt to Otten. Otten back set to Andrews. Andrews kills it. 14-8. Falcons trail by 6. They absolutely need 6 in a row.
More than absolutely, it's just a fact of life.
It's mandatory that they get 6 in a row to extend their season.
Falcons have been playing practically behind by 6 this entire set.
2024 freshman edition. Sydney Hernandez serves it over. Simpkins to Case. Case sets up Julia Marr. Marr with a strike off of Sydney Hernandez. And the season comes to a close for the Bowling Green State University Falcons. 15-8, the final score in the 5th set. Bowling Green can't get it done. It was a 7-0 run for Western Michigan to start the 5th set. They were just needing to hold on. The 4 seed upsetting the 1 seed here in the Stroh Center. The Falcons will not compete in the championship match for the first time in 6 years. We'll take a step back and bring you post-game in a few moments. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to WBGU 88.1 FM.
Hockey drops puck in the second game of a 2-game set against the Michigan Tech Huskies on Saturday, November 30th. Join the voice of Falcon Hockey, Ben Korak, at 6:45 for pregame and 7 p.m. for game time on WBGU 88.1 FM.
Welcome back to the Stroh Center. Bowling Green just dropped a 5-set match to Western Michigan in the MAC tournament semifinal. Western Michigan advances to the MAC championship tomorrow at 4:30 against either Central Michigan or Ball State. Again, Bowling Green loses that final set 15-8. Made a little bit of a comeback, but it came to the end for the Falcons, just not able to hold on. That 6-0 run in that 5th set really killed Bowling Green. Ben Korak with Chaz McNeil. Chaz, it's been a heck of a season for the Falcons. The MAC regular season championship, the 1 seed home Stroh Center MAC tournament, and it just didn't end up falling the way of the Falcons.
Such a tough finale to the season. This was a team that just had so much going for them. In this matchup, they got a lot out of Alexis Mattil, everything out of Jessica Andrews, and Lauren Hovey towards the end of the match heated up tremendously. But I mean, Western Michigan, they are so experienced. They're so good. This is not a loss that you really are going to hang on your wall as an upset. This was a 4 seed versus a 1 seed, but these are 2 of the best programs in all of the group of 5 play. Madison Mers, 17 kills. She absolutely lit everything up. Calcagno had 15. Marr had 13. In terms of digs, you got 30 out of Simpkins, 15 out of Case. Everybody was functioning at their highest degree. And just, you got to feel the worst for the 4 seniors that end their career with Bowling Green here today. Mia Tyler, Jordan Newblatt, Alexis Mattil, and Lindsay LaPinta.
Western Michigan with 63 kills on the game, 29 errors, 186 total attempts for a 183 hitting percentage, a 478 hitting percentage in that final set, a lot of which came from Madison Mers, who finished the game with 17 kills. They also had 7 aces and 10 total blocks. So one of the best blocking games of the season for Western Michigan, as serving games as well. 7 aces, none in that final set, but 3 in the second and 2 in the fourth. That propelled Western Michigan to high leads and kept the momentum going for Western Michigan. On the side of the Falcons, 59 kills, 4 less than Western, 25 errors, that's also 4 less than Western on 6 less attempts, 180 for the Falcons. They had a higher hitting percentage, 189. They had the same amount of aces and 8 more total blocks, 3 more solo blocks and 10 more blocking assists. So they were by far the better blocking team. Seemed to be that they were the better striking team as well. That hitting percentage is a pretty decent amount higher than Western Michigan. Just a little bit, though. Jessica Andrews with 16 kills. Alexis Mattil and Lauren Hovey with 14 apiece. Lauren Hovey did not have the greatest game. 14 kills, 12 errors, 35 total attempts for a .057 hitting percentage from the junior going into her senior year next year. She also had 3 assists, pretty good sets on the day as well. 2 aces, 1 error, 16 dig, double-double for Lauren Hovey in this game with 3 blocking assists as well. The middle blockers were kind of the story of the game. You can disagree, Chaz, but 16 for Jessica Andrews, 14 for Alexis Mattil on 58 total attempts out of the 180 total for the Falcons. They also had a ton of blocks, 3 solo blocks and 14 blocking assists for those middle blockers, Jessica Andrews and Alexis Mattil. They've been great all season, but especially in this match when they needed them to be, 18 total blocks in the game is a ton.
No, Ben, you're right. The offense lived and died by the middle blockers. Obviously, defense, they stepped up as well. You look at Jessica Andrews, and you mentioned Hovey not having her best game. It's very rare that you say that about a player that put up a double-double. 14 kills, 16 digs, but this all season the Falcons kind of prided themselves on being able to move the ball around, and in their final game of the year they did that. That you got 14 for Alexis Mattil, 14 for Lauren Hovey, 8 for Mia Tyler, 4 Jordan Newblatt, 16 Jessica Andrews, even 3 for Amanda Otten. They spread it as well as they could, but just at the end of the day, the block for Western Michigan came out to play, quite frankly.
It seemed as if the Falcons played a better game than Western Michigan. It's just certain things didn't fall their way, especially that 7-0 run to start the 5th set. I mean, that's almost impossible to come back from when you're switching sides and you have an 8-1 deficit, and they're halfway there. You're barely even started. That 5th set, it's part of volleyball. It is just rough that it comes down to not that much in the final set. We didn't have a lot of time for a Bowling Green comeback, but that's why you get ahead early, you get on your streak, and you ride it out for the rest of the game, and in the case of the Falcons, for the rest of the season.
You're right about that one, Ben.
So, final score for Bowling Green and Western Michigan. Western Michigan wins in 5 sets, 3-2. They won the first set 25-18, the second set 25-21, the third set 25-23. The Falcons won that one. Western Michigan won that one, then the Falcons won 25-20 in that electric 4th set. And then that 7-0 starting run in the 5th really tortured the Falcons. They weren't able to come back. They scored 8, but gave up 15 to Western Michigan, and they ended up putting it away off of a strike from Julia Marr, who had a fantastic game, as many of the Western Michigan Broncos did. So that will wrap up our BGSU volleyball broadcasts for the 2024 season. It's been a heck of a ride from home games to away games. I think we only missed 1 call all season, and that was, 3 calls all season. That was the Wright State tournament that couldn't support our radio broadcast. So Chaz McNeil, Andrew Smith, myself had a blast bringing games from us to you guys. A special thanks to the facility at the Stroh Center that helped us through some challenges with broadcasts, just made things run smoothly most of the time. Special thanks to the coaching staff and to the players that gave us something to broadcast, but were so kind to us, especially Coach Del Piombo, who allowed us to interview her at the end of most Bowling Green games. We did not get an interview with her today, but understandable, as you can imagine that the Falcons season just came to a close. Special thank you to Lucas Kleinmeyer and Tyler Kavlitz, who delegate to us the responsibility of broadcasting BGSU volleyball. It was, again, a blast. Thank you, Lucas and Tyler, for allowing us to do this in the Stroh Center away, supporting us and everything that we do. For the rest of the MAC tournament, including a recap of today's game, or this past game between Western and Bowling Green, and the preview of this coming game, Ball State and Central Michigan, as well as all other BGSU sports news and updates and the rest of the MAC tournament coverage, go to bgfalconmedia.com or BG_FMSN on Twitter. And for the rebroadcasts of this and all other Falcon Media Sports Network broadcasts, go to the BG Falcon Media YouTube channel. And for the off-season, follow BGSU Volleyball on Twitter and Instagram. If you look up BGSU Volleyball, you'll be able to find it pretty easily. So give them a follow. They played fantastically this year. The final record for the Falcons, 16-2 in the MAC, 21-8 overall. You add to that a loss against Western Michigan, the first of the year. The Daniela Tomic record in the MAC tournament against Western Michigan is tied up 3-3 with 2 championship matches falling to Western Michigan. So with that, we'll say goodnight on this. Well, we'll be back in the station in a few moments for Ball State Central Michigan, but for a Bowling Green volleyball broadcast, we will say good night to you for the final time in the 2024 season. You're listening to BGSU Volleyball on WBGU 88.1 FM.
This broadcast has been a Falcon Media Sports Network production. For more BGSU sports news and updates, follow Falcon Media Sports Network on Twitter X at BG_FMSN, BG Falcon Media on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and head over to BGFalconMedia.com.